All right. Welcome back to the 918 Grand Prix presented by MidAmerica Outdoors. We are almost on our way for the 4,400 race.
Yes. Rounding our day out.
Yes. It's been a fun day of racing. These guys are going to be racing into the night.
Yes.
So
a little chilly.
They all have their light bars on.
Oh yeah.
So it's what's super exciting about this race. Right now we do have daylight left. They are going to be going into the night. The only thing is our drone footage will not be so far out once it does get dark. But these guys are super pumped. They did to me, it was like a little parade coming down.
It was super awesome.
But you can see them all lined up right there. That is a great drone footage right there. And if that right there
that is
what
awesome.
The audience could see when they take off, that would be super awesome.
Again, this is called a Grand Prix dead engine start. They're kind of staggered by, right, left from qualifying order, but they have to start the engine and take off. Again, he said, hey, JT in the opening said, hey, these are open-wheel cars, so just be kind of considerate of each other. Don't try to run the guy over in front of you if you didn't get started right exactly as fast as you do. So,
hold your lane.
Yeah, he said there's you're not going to win a race in the first 100 feet, but you can end your race. So he said just be kind of careful. So getting ready to shoot some fireworks off here, kick it all off.
It's been really good so far today. Nobody's had any issues.
Even our brothers, didn't crash each other. So
they did say somebody rolled at the UTV race though.
Really?
Earlier. Remember? I can't remember who it was. They said somebody rolled, and they think it was Mitch Truitt that rolled.
Okay.
But you can hear Joey in the background. He is pumping up all of the people that are out here watching. And everyone's staying warm.
It is. We had the side-by-sides race this morning. We had the EMC race this afternoon. We just finished that. And now we're going to the big dogs. This is the 4,400 Unlimited class. Looks like we got about 12 guys running this class. We had about 15 qualify, so I'm not sure if there was an issue with qualifying. A couple guys maybe had not made qualifying. From qualifying now, they might have had an issue. So, which happens from time to time. Again, I would much rather have an issue during qualifying at a race, not for points, not an Ultra 4 race, versus going to a big race, lots of points, especially some of the double race. Again, we talked about, King of Hammers, Visions, and Legends all being double points. So those double point races are super huge. So if you're going to have an issue, you want to have the issue at a local regular season race that doesn't matter for points. So again, like I said, this is not an Ultra 4 race. This is the 918 Grand Prix race from MidAmerica Outdoors, part of their endurance series that they set up, before the merger happened. So it's super cool to see. And they wanted to have it again, So it's super, super awesome to see. Again, they got the pits set up there. Crazy to see how many pits we had set up for the side-by-sides today.
Yes. There were 40 side-by-sides that took off the line. So, the side-by-side class, there's so many different classes within side-by-sides in all the different racing associations. And that is the fastest growing class because as we were talking, I believe it was Madden we were talking with.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an affordable class.
It is.
I mean, not everybody can go buy a Campbell car or, a UFO car.
Yeah.
Those cars are so expensive.
Yeah. $250,000 to $500,000 just to start.
A
little high side. Again, side-by-side, you can go pick up a side-by-side, $15,000, $20,000, and you don't even have to buy a new one. You can buy a used one and hop right into it, anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000 for a used, cheaper side-by-side. Granted, it might not be a big turbo car, so I get it. So, but the thing is, you can get into it, get your some minor safety gear. Again, like I said, seats and harnesses usually have to be at least pretty good.
Right.
And again, everything you buy can be bolt-on.
Exactly.
So you can get in the stock class side-by-side race, have so much fun with it. And now that side-by-siding is becoming such a good venue, you can do races between Ultra 4 and the MidAmerica Series, and there's some local smaller events. You could race almost every weekend if you wanted to on a side-by-side.
Exactly. And there's also back on the West Coast, there's the desert racing.
Desert racing, and those are huge.
All right. So it looks like we're getting ready to start. Super exciting.
All right.
So we'll hear the fireworks. And
this is such an awesome shot, too, by the way.
Yeah, it is. I love the shot right here. And when you see that big fireball,
there we go.
The fireball is when they can start their engine. There we go.
There we go. And they're off.
Oh.
And they are off.
Look at that footage right there. That's so awesome. Cool to see. I mean, they start and go right into a creek.
Wow. Look at the whole shot. That is awesome. I think that's one of the Texas guys there. They got that great hole shot.
See, I cannot see right here.
Yeah.
It looks like Ryan Rockhold.
Oh, wow. Yeah, one of our drones went down. Not a big deal. We'll get it picked back up.
Was that Ryan Rockhold? You said a Texas guy.
One of the Texas guys, I think. I believe it is Ryan.
Because his car is kind of an iridescent-y looking.
Yes, it is. It is him. And he had a hole shot like nobody's business.
And he qualified in third position with a 1:14 yesterday. So he was actually like 4 seconds behind Levi Shirley. But
I love his wrap. That's super dope.
Yeah. It's not going to be so pretty here in a minute.
Here in a minute when it's covered in mud and dirt. And again, I think the course has dried out enough. Obviously, if there's some spots in the shades that might be.
Look, there's dust on course right now.
Yeah, I say if in the shade, I'm sure there's some snowy parts still, but out in the dry area where the short course is at, I think that's completely dry.
And it looks like that could possibly be. I think that's Levi Shirley on Ryan's tail.
Oh, I'm sure. Again, Levi qualified very well, too.
Levi was the number 1 position at a 110.
I think he passed Levi out of that hole shot. Again, you can go back and watch that hole shot. He came out and set it on fire.
So, I mean, he's gaining ground for sure. Pretty positive, like you and I have both said. I think that is Ryan Rockhold.
Again, that iridescent little wrap there.
It looks red, then it looks orange, and then it's sparkly.
Levi ramping off there, right behind. Look, and again, like there's 10, 15 feet between those guys. Levi is nipping right on his heels. Again, that's your first and second place coming right off. This is coming down kind of the end of the short course section. Now they're coming back to us.
The little looks like Ryan might have two-wheeled it a little bit, bicycled it.
Again, this is the short course section they have on the other side, which is going to be a lot of the side-by-side racing going on through there. Levi's getting by him right there. He is nipping on his heels.
Oh.
Again, trying to pass him. Again, this is look, little different line section. See if Levi can push past him. Oh, Levi coming in hot and tight there. Again, this is the knockout section.
This is an awesome footage.
Levi and him are almost trading paint there. Trying to push it.
Sorry, I'm announcing from that. It's a delay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Look at the dust. So there was absolutely no dust on course whatsoever today. And now all of a sudden, the EMC class, of course. Oh, look, that looks like Zandy and Chip right there in third and fourth positions battling it out.
Recognize those big Texas wraps there.
Exactly.
Making quick work of that. Again, third, and that'd be your third and fourth place.
Well, they were super close together. What happened? Oh, did
I'm not sure.
One of them miss a turn? Oh, no.
What is going on?
That is Chip or Zandy one just totally missed the turn into the tree section, and they were both side by side. And we have Mr. Ryan Rockhold right here in that number 1 position.
Coming down, going to hit this little hill, like rock bouncer territory.
So not sure where Levi went, because that is it's okay. So Zandy Williams and Chip McLaughlin's cars look exactly alike until I see the number. I don't know which one it is. But that is one of them in that second position. So where did Levi Shirley go?
I'm not sure. Again, he might have got caught up in that woods section there. Again, part of that Rufus Racing team coming in.
So that's number 4. So that's Chip McLaughlin in that number 2 position right now.
Again, all the cars are starting to stream in here.
There is Kevin Taylor. Oh, no, look, we have...
Oh, we got
Tim
a couple
Cooper.
Guys stuck,
That's Tim Cooper in the Fuelworks car, struggling to get up that hill. Sorry, you guys are not seeing it on the live stream, what we are actually announcing, because all the action's going on right here behind us. You guys have an overall view, which is an amazing view.
Yeah.
But we are watching live behind us. There's Zandy. Zandy was the one that would have missed that turn.
Again, you got a handful of racers coming through here, this Rock Hill section that the Rock Bouncers race.
I wonder what happened to Levi Shirley. Where is Levi?
I'm not sure. Again, there's Quentin from Flying Q Motorsports coming through there.
Super cool footage, right? I mean, if you were here live watching this right now, you would see so much action right here because there's the bleachers set up, there's the VIP section set up. you could see all of the action right here. And then there's 2 Jumbotrons. We have 2 Jumbotrons set up so you can see what's going on out on course, deeper into where we cannot see it from right here.
It looks like they're all back into the wood sections now.
Man, the start of all the races are always so exciting.
It is.
But for some reason. So that's Ryan Rockhold. He has the Texas flag, it looks like, on the top of his car. But he does have that iridescent, chrome wrap
He is
on it.
flying through that wood section right now. I mean, he is screaming through that wood section. And some of those wood sections are pretty tight, so to see him actually pushing that hard. Again, seeing him scream through that wood section, he is pushing hard. Definitely
you can hear the horsepower.
Oh, yeah. Definitely wanting to try to hit that $2,500 fastest lap for big cars.
Yes.
So we'll have to see what these guys' first lap are. I know a lot of guys want to get out there quick and make a statement, especially being packed in like that. I know a lot of guys want to get out there and try to cut some of the pace.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, there's a great shot of kind of the short course and the wood section put together.
And the Thunder Valley.
Yeah, it shows how long that really is, how much track you're really going to cover there.
That is such a great shot.
Yeah.
You guys could see
it's
right
awesome.
behind us here. You have the pit section set up, which is super cool. As you guys were watching it and you saw them all take off.
Yeah.
That was cool to see that footage right there.
It was neat. And again, like I said, to watch all those guys take off, especially right behind us, again, it's kind of a cool view. We can literally just turn around and watch all the action happening right behind us. And then obviously the drone footage was really great there, so it's super neat to see that happen. Again, about 17 minutes roughly for a lap of the bigger cars in the EMC class. So I'm kind of interested to see what the big cars in the 4400 class fastest time is going to be.
At the pace that Ryan Rockhold is out right now, I wouldn't put it past him that he's not in the low 15s.
Yeah, he is. I mean, again, we saw him through that wood section. He was flying through that wood section. Being such a tight course, you kind of have to worry, like, man, just that many trees that close together, you got to be really careful. But
right.
I mean, you hate to see him tag a tree or get hung up or something. But clearly out to make a statement and try to get that pace.
Yes.
Was banging wheels with Levi, and Levi was doing everything he could to try to get past him. So we'll see.
I'm seriously wondering because they were battling it out.
They were
really
hard.
Good.
Yeah. So and again, going into a wood section, battling that hard, maybe Levi, got caught in some dust and didn't quite see a tree or something. We're not sure exactly what happened, but
I was looking back because we can see part of the course right here behind us as well. So I was wondering if maybe we could see where he's at there, but
see if he can poke out. Again, we hadn't seen him come out of that very first wood section, and once you do hop out of the wood section, they're over off to our right hand side. So it'll be interesting to see what happened. I mean,
right.
I know. Again, those cars are built pretty tough, so I don't think if he did catch a big tree, it wasn't a little tiny one. He would have mowed over some of those. So
and JT Taylor was up here earlier, and he was talking about these trees. They're hardwood trees. They're not moving.
They are not. They are not.
They're going to break your car.
Yeah, a break. Yeah, unfortunately. Okay. Well, drone's getting ready to go back up, so they're gonna get some cool footage again. Like I said, the huge shout out to the drone guys. Unfortunately, they're not able to fly at night due to licensing issues. So we're going to watch them until it gets dark, and then we'll have to go to just our hard mount cameras. Hopefully, we get a bunch of racing in before it gets dark. So, again, like I said, it's let's see what time it is. 5:13 now. So
this is where we're going to need to keep a watch and see what their light bars look like.
Yes.
So that's how we'll be able to know who's who.
Yeah, it was funny. One year we were at Miles, me and Miles were there, and we're doing commentary, and you're looking down, like a big long trail, and you just see two headlights or a light bar coming at you. And it's pitch black, and it's a super long rock section, so it took 30 minutes for that thing to get up next to you and see what, so it's like, oh, it's a light bar. We got a car. You can't tell a car from the light bar.
And you can usually tell the brand, like what a rigid light bar looks like.
Yeah, you just see a big white bar going across that you can't see the car, so and Miles knew a couple of them. He's like, yeah, that's so and so. He's like, I can tell by the way the lights are positioned. And I'm like, it's crazy, but
well, that's the thing. So some racers run certain colors of lights. So for instance,
and different patterns, headlights and light bars. So
earlier I believe it was Trevor Foltz. He had on. His light bar was like the amber color, and then Dwayne Garrettson had the little tiny red one. So it's like there's certain colors people will run. my race program that we had on our car, we always had blue lights.
Yep.
So everybody knew,
Yep.
it was that color. So
And again, for the longest time, they had a certain pattern they have to be on the back of
Right.
it, so it's a little easier to tell, or certain locations. Now they've kind of what happened?
you guys are talking. You're talking over it. There's too much going on.
They said Levi is down, but we're not sure exactly what happened. See if we can't figure that out. Something with no power.
So Levi, word through the radios, Levi's down. He has no power. They're trying to figure out how to get him back up and running.
Oh, man, that sucks.
So unfortunate. So that's what Connor Fultz was talking about earlier. Not Connor, Trevor.
Yeah,
was
having
talking
some kind
about.
of.
He had 5 seconds of no power.
Yeah, and he said luckily the car came back on, but again, there's so much electrical stuff, and you know that vibration. All it takes is one ground wire to work loose, and the sensor starts reading wrong,
Right.
and you lose power to the car, lose the engine. So you hate to see that for Levi, and obviously he was battling hard out there. Great racing action. We
Number
love
one
seeing
qualifier.
that.
He
Yeah,
was our number one qualifier.
and obviously Levi's a hard charger. He's not going to sit back and just kind of be okay with second place.
Right.
He was out there battling hard. So him and Ryan were out there trashing it pretty good. So
Yeah, they were.
And again, that to me is great racing. Two guys just and picking different lines to see which pays out the best. So super excited to see which lines were going to pay off, but. You hate to see that for Levi, and Levi obviously a great racer,
Right.
so super unfortunate for him. But we'll see if he can't get back going again.
Well, like we were talking earlier, he had the unfortunate, within the first, I think it was, I don't know how many miles it was at King of the Hammers this year, he lost his transmission.
Yeah.
So very unfortunate.
It stinks.
Loretta's not being so nice to him.
Not
Maybe
very-
she's mad because
Yes.
he has a new one
Yeah,
coming.
that may be. Yeah, little jelly for the new car.
Yeah. The little gremlins are coming out in her.
Yeah, you hate to see that.
Yeah, unfortunate. But, man, you can see the shade of the trees. The sun is going down. That starts playing with the drivers
yeah.
a lot.
Shadows from trees. You think it's a little farther than it is. You get a little crazy, and
Comes into play for sure. That looks
Yeah.
like a nice little creek bed right there.
And a couple of racers talked about hitting that creek bed. Terry talked about how he said it gets so awful cold when you splash in that water.
Right. Well, I can't believe it when he said that the towel froze to his visor
Oh,
this morning.
yeah, but if you think about it, like you go to lick a pole and it's cold or
I've
something,
never done that, so.
things stick to you, and your hand can stick to ice when their
Right.
hands are wet and it's super cold. So
Yes, I understand it, but
So
I'm just
it's-
like, it's amazing that it's that cold
and,
out here.
and it totally makes sense. Being 18 degrees, you have a towel that's wet, and you have a visor that's basically frozen.
Right.
And I was just thinking, I'm sure Terry's like trying to get his, I could see his hand stuck to a towel stuck to the visor, trying to yank it off. Like, what is going on here?
Well, then you have ice on your visor. That's
Yeah.
just not good in any way.
He said he ended up just flicking it up and just running with an open visor, which you hate to do, but luckily not being tons of dust and not being tons of mud
Yes.
or being right behind a driver, you can hopefully be okay with just flipping your visor over and running that way. But
Right.
kind of hope for the flick the visor open and just I always tell people we just kind of blink a bunch and squint a little bit and hope for
Exactly.
the best. So I know a lot of
yeah.
guys run the pumper systems, which helps, but it's not
In
exactly
this weather, the pumper.
yeah, it's not exactly heated air, so.
Well, how cool would that be?
Oh, dude, yeah, because I'm sure pumping ice cold air into your helmet's really not great right now.
Especially if you get your adrenaline starts going and it's like running, so
Oh,
your,
yeah.
your breath
Oh,
that
yeah.
can get inside the visor, and then it fogs up and then it freezes.
Yeah, I would almost be worried about the fogging up more of an issue this morning than the ice or anything on the visor, but
And they make all kinds of defoggers to put
Yeah.
on your visors, but I
Yeah.
don't know. They don't really honestly work that well.
yeah, we'll see if we can't take it
What time did they actually start?
It was pretty close to a lot of time. It's 5:17 right now.
22
So-
minutes ago. Okay.
What's up, buddy?
You're hitting me with your antenna.
How's it going? Yeah. What's
Oh.
up? What's up? Get your headset. Yeah.
Here, can you move this?
Yeah. It's
So
okay.
I don't get hit in the face.
You don't need to breathe. It's okay. What's up, everybody? We got Clyde Bynum, Mr. National Rock Racing Association, in the booth with us today. You've been a little busy today. I see you running back and forth the trailer. You're on two different radios talking, trying to keep drones in the air, cameraman all pointing in the right direction.
Correct.
Keep us in line.
keep us in
trying
line.
to keep trying to keep Matt quiet. It's a really tough job.
Hey, if I would have heard you.
Yeah, trying to keep cutting back and forth from action to pits. And
so Taylor did inform me that the communication from race ops is not getting to you guys very well. So
correct.
I guess somebody keeps hitting a hot mic. So
we did hear a lot of static earlier, so maybe we just start tuning
he
it
finally
out.
turned it off because it was just nonstop hot mics.
Okay.
I did hear a lot of static.
You get 4 or 5 guys on side by sides leaning over on they're leaning over on the radio.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
That is Mr.
Yeah.
Chip McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Chip, who was in our booth here earlier.
He was sitting, I think, 3rd or 4th when they came by us earlier. So.
Well, he was our number 2 qualifier. When they went past us, he was right behind Ryan Rockhold as well. So Ryan.
15:44. Wow.
What was the fastest UTV?
It was pretty close to that.
Chip.
More than 15 or less?
It was like 15, 10, 15, 17 probably.
Okay.
We have so the 456.
Uh-oh.
That is Chad Hunt.
I haven't seen Ryan come through, so he might have, again, he was pushing so hard, he would have definitely broke 15 seconds, but he had to have caught a tree or something because he was blazing through there.
For sure.
I have no doubt he is probably broke somewhere just because he was pushing so hard, so fast.
So Chad's 30 seconds behind Chip. So Chip right now has the fastest lap of the day.
Yeah, I would say fastest lap of the big cars. I don't know about fastest lap overall, but fastest lap definitely for the big cars.
I haven't heard anybody faster, but yeah, that's I mean even 16, 15 for Chad. So at that rate,
they're moving. They're absolutely moving.
So Chip happens. Hopefully Chip doesn't happen today.
Yes, hopefully he can keep the car together.
Do you guys think nightfall is going to make much of a difference for these guys?
Oh,
yes,
absolutely.
100%.
We even as the sun starts to go down.
Well, are some of these drivers better at the nightfall?
I think so,
yes.
But even as the sun goes down, you see shadows from trees.
Correct.
You start looking.
Oh, Kevin Taylor.
There we go in the Porsche buggy.
And the 178. That is Aaron Smith coming in 3rd and 4th.
There we go, right next to each other.
Tail to tail.
I think the woods section you start to see shadows and we've talked to several races about how tight the areas are. That shadow leans one way or the other way. Now you catch a tree, you break a tie rod, you break a hub, or even puncture a tire.
Okay, this is Zandy Williams right here who missed the turn earlier.
Other half of the Rufus Racing team here.
So he's in the physical 5th position right now.
And some guys, I think, when night falls, will push a lot harder. Some guys will be a little more conservative.
There's Tim Hooper.
That Fuel Works buggy.
The 427, I think, is what that number was.
I was trying to look on it.
Yeah, we've had to learn a lot of new techniques, new technology, new ways of doing things. And,
was that Quentin? That wasn't Quentin. I'm sorry.
I don't think that was Quentin, no. His is Flying Q Motorsports on the side. I don't think that was Quentin.
I couldn't see the side of that one. Sorry, go ahead.
Trying to hook screens up that we've never hooked up before and adapters. And I told people we were down here about 10:30 last night when it was like 10, 12 degrees. We're holding poles and
freezing,
trying to figure out, make sure that everything's connecting right.
Like when you put your tongue to a cold pole and it's stuck, that's the way our hands were.
Our
hands were like sticking to the pole.
So, and it was freezing. We were in here huddling, trying to get make sure all of our stuff was working for the live feed, make sure all our cameras are working.
Well, we've also got a team that's never really worked.
That's Quentin from Flying Q Motorsports.
Yep.
The big Flying Q on the side is a pretty good giveaway there. And again, Quentin, he's been racing Ultra 4. He said, I saw it on YouTube. It looked cool, so I bought a car. Like, cool. That's awesome. I love it. Went out last year to King of Hammers, had a blast. Did okay. Some things didn't work out his way, and he said, I learned a lot. It's a hard lesson to learn sometimes, so came back out. He's excited to be racing again. Had some guys come up with him, so super excited for them.
So we have, I believe, is that 3rd and 4th still battling it out that we just saw on camera?
So
there's Chip. That's Chip McLaughlin they just had on camera.
That was your top 7, top 8 there came through there so far?
Top 7, yes.
I really didn't expect these guys to do the same lap times as the UTVs just because of size and squeezing through some of those tight spots.
Well, they have more power and they have bigger tires. But here's the thing.
But when you get those valleys and the trees are tight, it's harder to squeeze through there at that speed.
It's so much harder to be nimble and quick when you weigh 4 times as much as a side-by-side.
And that's what's so good about pre-running. But they did do their pre-running in their side-by-sides.
So it is pretty impressive seeing these guys putting down the times that the UTVs are putting down.
Luckily, there's quite a bit of open ground, so I think they can kind of make up some of that open ground by zooming faster. But, again, we've heard some Sniper guys. They were pushing, top speeds through the field. So, again, the power to weight ratio for the side-by-sides right now is absolutely unbelievable. And Terry Madden was talking about it. He said, just the cost ability. A lot of guys can go buy a side-by-side, used or new, and kind of finance it, so you don't have to walk up buy a $250,000 to $500,000 race car right out the gate. So
that's what's crazy when you think about what you just said.
Oh yeah,
a side-by-side.
Yep.
You can walk into
dealership.
any dealership, get a loan on a car, build it into a race car, and then you can be making payments on your race car.
And you don't even have to buy a brand new. You can walk in and buy a $12,000 used side-by-side.
Right, exactly.
Get some cheap safety parts, and then be racing stock class next week.
But just in general, I mean,
you
can get a loan on a race car.
Yes, it's a good time. It's a good time. Again, we've seen Bree Motor last year. She was here in their UTV they use at the farm, 4-door, full body. They call it Big Booty Judy.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Raced it, and she's like, "Yeah, we had to go home and feed the horses with it the next week." But until then, we're going to race it as a race car. So
on screen is Kevin Taylor, and then that is the
Fuelworks car.
Tim Hooper.
So what do you guys feel about this Le Mans style start?
Oh,
I love it.
Pretty
I might
cool.
be Quentin behind him with that Flying Q Motorsports
it did
car.
Look like Quentin's.
I think so. The kind of orange. Once you get it muddy and dirty, it's kind of hard to tell the colors anymore.
That start is
super
cool.
I think it scared the drivers, but also excited them when all the big explosions start going off. You know, it's kind of fun, but a little exciting and kind of nervous. Again, you can hear that hear those cars just screaming through the woods. Again, there's our leaderboard.
That was probably Zandy. So Zandy and Chip have different sounding motors as well.
Do we know if Shirley got back up and going?
We have not seen him come back through, and the timer system still shows him one lap down.
Did you see that drone footage was awesome? That is the car number I cannot. 40, number 40.
Yeah, I think those are.
That is Liam Maurice.
I think they're coming out of Texas. Texas St. Louis. I think those are out of the St. Louis crew.
All right, guys, I've borrowed y'all's chair long enough. Going back to work.
Yeah. Clyde, what that means is he's probably has 4 things he has to go do right now. So go man some battleship somewhere.
Busy man. There's so many moving parts behind the scene that everybody at home, just appreciate what you see on our live shows and everything that goes on here, because you have no idea. I don't even know I have any idea of what all it takes for them to. I know there's so much to get this up and running and for you guys to be watching at home. And there are hiccups that happen. We lose internet. We get internet back.
Yes.
They're just
working. The generator that runs another trailer that we're plugged into lost power, so we didn't have internet this morning.
Right.
So it was 10 minutes ago. We're we'll still have the live feed up. Yes. So, it is kind of crazy being able to troubleshoot kind of on the fly, So
that's where it's just be patient.
It is. So shout out to Clyde and the whole National Rock Racing Association crew. I know we got a handful of guys running around with cameras, and Taylor back there running our switchboards and our audio.
Being in our ear, switching the cameras.
So, we have a sea of batteries back there for all the cameras out there. They're running Teradexes and satellites on top. So we appreciate all those guys. Well, I love our headsets. We used to have microphones we'd hold with hand. We got headsets about a third of the way through the last year. I love them. They're awesome.
And they keep our ears warm.
They do. For real. Dude, oh man, I love them. And we've used them in Ultra 4 for quite a while. And I was telling him, man, I really like these headsets. And he's like, all right.
I think if my ears were cold right now, I would not be super happy. Okay, so I believe.
Flying Q Motorsports there. I'm not sure what's going on there. Not sure. The tires look good for what we can see.
They go through that water right there, and when they get splashed up, they just.
Yeah.
It can cause so many issues with electrical.
Yeah, he took off, went about 20 feet, and stopped again. So I don't know if there's some kind of.
So he's talking to.
The good news is he's right behind the pits, so his pit crew is really close to him.
He has that Tribe 16 logo on the side there.
Yeah, trying to figure out. He would go about 20 feet and stop. So I'm not sure if, like you said, splashing into that water, something could have got wet.
It can make you cut out your power. I
I always laugh. Nowadays kids don't even know what a distributor is. But old days I had an early Bronco we'd take out and go four-wheeling with, and you splash water, get water in the distributor, had to take it out, and dry it all out, or take a little ether and squirt it and put some fire in there, and burn all the water out, put it back together, and go wheel some more. And nowadays, you don't have that, but you have a lot of sensors on there. So the sensors, you get, some water.
Now everything is so computerized.
It is. So you try to do your best at, filling Vaseline and, filling everything. Was that way your connectors keep the water out, and using heat shrink tubing and there's a lot of kind of tricks mud racer guys use to try to keep all the water out. But again, that kind of vibration, you're going to have to get some in there sooner or later. But
all right, so let's do our leaderboard here really quick. We have Chip McLaughlin in that number 1 spot, Chad Hunt number 2, Kevin Taylor 3rd, Aaron Smith in that 4th position, Zandy Willems in 5th, Tim Hooper in 6th, and Quentin Hilburn in that 7th position. Those are the only cars that have came through
on the first
to
lap.
Finish their first lap.
Yeah. So we have like 5 or 6 guys that have never came through on our first lap. So I'm not sure if they broke in the woods or...
We have 7. It looks like we have 14 that started, and there's 15 that started, and there's 7 that have came through. So, yeah.
And again, with Levi, I'm not sure exactly what happened with him.
Electrical.
Quentin, we just saw over there messing with his car.
Ryan Rockhold, I mean, he was out front.
Smoking it out. And I'm not sure, again, he was trying to set the world on fire. Again, we talked a little bit with this morning, and looks like Quentin's back over there to the booth. So
that's not good when you're seeing the co-driver getting
out. It is not.
And probably driver as well.
And we'll see what's going on with them. Jumping out, trying to see if they can't get the car fixed.
Oh, they're looking underneath, so it could be something to do with the drive line maybe. Well, you can't. I don't know.
Looking out, they were taking off, and they went about 20 feet, and it stopped again. So I'm not sure if it's a transmission issue maybe, or I would think it's an electrical issue, but again, it looks like
when they're looking underneath, it's definitely not going to be that electrical for sure. It's so quiet right this second.
Yeah, you hate to stink and see that. Yes. Man, that stinks. You see this? You see the steering wheel coming off, and again, it looks like they're walking on the front end too. So maybe they're having an issue with running. Again, it looks like they're looking around the front end. They're looking around some of that left rear corner. I don't know if they're going to try to get it fixed or they're just trying to figure it out.
And it sounds like we're going to try to get somebody over there to give us a little update on what's going on.
Man, you hate to see that.
100%.
Again, they had a great time. Sitting in 7th. Again, sitting 7th. Yeah, again, sitting 7th now. You hate to not get out there, and at least if you could pick off a few guys, you're already in the top 5.
Yep.
Now you're in that money category, so man, you hate to see that not be able to get back out. But
exactly.
See if they can't. I don't see him mess with it too much.
He can still get out there and do a fastest lap.
Yeah. I really, really wish I could have saw Ryan's time for the first lap.
I know. I was. But Chip came through with the time that I was kind of thinking.
Yeah.
That he would have.
Ryan was setting the world on fire, though. I think he'd have really pushed it up. But again, Chip coming in with 15 seconds something. So we'll see if anybody else can come up and pick that off today.
Right.
I know as the day progresses, once they learn the course, they might try pushing a little bit harder. So that was our first lap. Guys, they're working on their second lap currently.
These guys need to keep that 15.4 pace.
Yeah. So we're not freezing at midnight. Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine? I mean, it happens. It is what it is, but yeah.
Okay. We got Chris over there running the handy cam. Yeah. See if he can't get some footage over there. I see somebody driving behind him in a car, too.
Looks like we have
Go for it, man. Here. Well, Quentin here drove us a lap and came up the waterfalls there after the short course and felt like the front wasn't pulling. Died at the top of the hill and the cab filled up with smoke. And around where they could see us, and the transmission fluids pouring out of the skid plate. Thought we blew the transmission out, but it may just be a if we can get it fixed, we'll go. We may see if we can ride around some, but other than that, we've already blown our chances today, I guess. But we'll have a good time.
We just need to catch breaks one day.
Cool. Yep.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
You bet.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you for being here.
Yes, sir. Yep, we're good.
Man, that stinks. Again, Quentin, a great guy. He's raced King of Hammers a couple times. Saw some videos of guys doing it and thought, that looks awesome. I want to do that. And just bought a car and did it. So
That's super cool.
He's a couple years in now. Obviously, learned some of the tricks the hard way. Quentin from Flying Q Motorsports comes out and usually has a very fast car. Was sitting 7th overall for the day. And just they had a transmission issue, as they said, so puking fluid out. So kind of quit pulling, and they said he knows fluid puking out. So I don't know if he just lost fluid, and the clutches don't turn real well without having fluid.
Yeah.
So
true story.
Man, you hate to see that happen again. Quentin, a good dude. He's an awesome guy, always helping everybody out. His first year at King of Hammers had lobster catered in one night for his crew. Bought them all matching hoodies and had lobster catered in. I was like, what? I was like, where was I? He's like, man, we had it. It was a great time. I'm like, man, I wish I'd have known that.
It's like, can I be a part of that crew?
Yeah, super nice guy. Again,
I see lights in the distance.
super cool. Hate to see that happen. So
this is definitely probably Chip. That is definitely a Rufus Racing.
Well, if you can hear
Struggling
it before
to get
you
up
see
that
it,
hill.
then you know where that's where we're at.
It looks like there's snow in that orange wheel.
I would not
or
doubt
red
it.
wheel. I can't tell if they're red or orange.
Kind of an orangish color.
Now they do definitely have their front lights on.
You can hear him ripping through there. Way, buddy! He is sending it. Came through landed about 3/4 of the way down the jump.
16:09. So he actually slowed down.
Yeah.
But
again, flying through that jump. Man, but right there, again, 15-16 range.
Wow.
These guys are still hauling. Again, that's Chip McLaughlin, just finished his second lap. Again, right at just a hair over 16 seconds. Chad Hunt was sitting in second place. I'm sure he'll be coming up here in a second.
yeah, he wasn't too far behind, and here he is right here.
Again, coming
Chad
through.
Hunt.
Again, coming through, buddy. These guys are sending it through, which is awesome to see.
The 456 right there, Chad Hunt. That is so cool.
Again, 39 seconds behind with a 16:19. So, again, right there in that same pace as Chad, or as Chip.
And Kevin Taylor and Aaron Smith were like neck and neck coming through earlier, third and fourth as well.
See where they're at. Again, they weren't too far behind them first and second either.
I have to sit here because VIP front row right
we
here.
We do. It's great.
I'm going to have to get myself a video when they come through.
I was thinking when Chip comes through next time, I'm going to have to see him hit the jump.
I didn't want to say his name because I didn't want a Chip happen to him.
Yeah, he was flying through that jump. Hit 3/4 the way through the course.
Take me a picture, though. I'm all about those pictures, my sunset photos. People that see my social media know that I am a sunrise and sunset. My husband bought a property in North Carolina where we moved 3 years ago that has this amazing view. I get a morning sunrise with the lake in the background.
Wow.
So I'm all about the sunrise photos. But we do have somebody coming in. There's 2 cars coming in.
Okay.
Neck and neck right now, I can see. They'll be here very shortly. And on screen right now, I don't know what to call that turn right there, but it's like a bobby pin, like a hairpin. So that was Chip McLaughlin going through it. This is such a cool event. Look, you can see the shadowing that we were talking about on screen right now that can really mess with you.
Starts to play tricks on you.
Yes.
That's Zandy coming through now. Get her done.
And the 178 of Aaron Smith. So Zandy picked it up. He was in 5th position, and now he is in 3rd position. So out here at Visions last year, Chip and Zandy were on the podium together.
And
First, second, and third, right?
And they were flying.
Yes. I mean, I only saw because I wasn't here, but I saw social media.
Yeah, it was a good time. Chip was covered, like you couldn't hardly see out of his helmet because he had his visor flipped up and just ate dust the whole day. So
hard on the eyes.
It was pretty rough. It was super cool again to see the guys out there doing the short course stuff.
Here's Kevin Taylor.
Coming in with the Porsche buggy.
He actually bypassed the jump, and it looks like he's going to be going into his pit right now.
Maybe check a tire, look at fuel. You can see
They
them all
are.
waving
They're
him
waving
down.
him down. Here we have Tim Hooper.
Going through that Fuel Works car. I'm not sure what's up with Taylor. Talking to him. That's number 40.
That's the number 40 of Liam. Is it Maurice,
I think. They're coming out of the St. Louis crew, I believe. Yeah, that's the Porsche car of Kevin Taylor. Super cool. They've raised hammers with that car a couple times. They have no problem. You see Quentin there looking like, hey, those guys aren't having a very good day either. They've have bashed on that car quite a bit, so I'm not sure what's going on with it. Okay, I think that's Chip coming back through here, I think. Again, I still haven't...
Well, that would be Zandy because Chip's already through.
Okay. I still haven't seen Levi. Have they got him pulled back or figure out what's going on? Kevin Taylor taking off through there.
And here comes Aaron Smith coming through that dip. That's right behind us here. And then he's making that right into the hill climb.
Again, those hills are pretty steep. That's pretty loose dirt. You've seen some of the guys come down a little farther down there.
Did I say Aaron Taylor or Aaron Smith? It's Aaron Smith.
Aaron Smith.
Aaron Smith and Kevin Taylor have a similar green color.
Yeah.
And did Kevin Taylor actually make it back out after stopping?
He did. He pulled in and then took off.
Okay, so maybe just a walk around. Hey, what's going on?
I'm not sure if they had, sometimes you hear something squeak on the front end or something feels loose, so you better, hey, let's pull in and look at all the bolts real quick, and then I'll take off. That 10 extra seconds could be really good insurance for not being broke down on the course another mile later. So
definitely, it's definitely worth the 5-second stop
to
look. So technically, right now we only have 6 cars out running still on course.
Yes.
That are out on lap 2 out of 15 cars that started this race.
Which is kind of crazy. Be like, wow, that we've already knocked down that many cars in the first lap,
First lap, yeah, exactly. Okay, so there were 12 cars, getting some feedback here. So 12 cars started the race.
And we're down to 6. We're down to 6 cars already. So half of the cars on the first lap got taken out. But I would say that Levi Shirley and Ryan Rockhold were both battling it out, and there was an issue there. And then Ryan was pushing so hard he might have caught something or had some issue. He was flying. I was impressed. I was thinking, I don't know if he can keep up that pace.
Okay, so we have Mr. Chip McLaughlin on. That is him on screen right now, and he's getting ready to come back through. I believe I just misspoke. That is Zandy Williams that you are seeing on screen right now. Because Chip should actually be back in the woods right now.
Yeah. That's what I thought earlier. I was
looking at how clear blue the sky is because I was looking up at you because you're standing next to me, and then that plane swirled for a second. The cold starts playing with your mind.
Yeah, I would not want to be blazing through this course, start it in daytime, go to night, just because those trees, they start hopping out in front of you.
Yes, I call them jumping trees and jumping rocks. Some drivers do better at nighttime.
Some drivers do. We have some drivers in the Southern Arc Racing Series that they'll go. We have drivers that are good at uphill. Some drivers are good at down. I've seen some drivers go way faster downhill than they do uphill. It's crazy. And again, you can pick up a few seconds here, a few seconds there on a course that's only 30 seconds long. So just imagine what you can do on a course that's 16 minutes long.
Right.
So being able to corner a little faster than the other guy, or go downhill a little faster than the other guy, or uphill, everybody has kind of their niche they're really good at. So if you can kind of round yourself out in the other categories and still excel in that one category, you can really kind of see yourself pull ahead. Again, Chip is clearly just putting it hammer down right now. So
yeah, he's definitely walking away right now. But yeah, it's a long race.
It is.
I honestly, I don't like to say anything about how it's going until I see them.
It's over.
Yeah, I don't want to be like, oh my gosh, they're running away with the race or whatever, because in reality,
yeah,
they have 8 more laps that they have to do, and there's a lot of trees. It's going to get dark. The turns. There's anything. Anything can happen.
I'd say especially like hammers.
Right.
Hammers is like just when you think somebody's like, oh, this guy's clearly going to win. The next thing you know, he's coasting to a stop. So
Well, it was like last year 2020 when Jason Shearer was
yes,
in the lead and they ran out of fuel?
yep.
And his co-driver, thank goodness he's like,
Yeah.
what is he, CrossFit person?
Yeah, and we had him on camera. Like a drone was 10 feet behind him in the air, running behind him.
Did
and
the
he
cameraman run with him as well?
Maybe. I know they had a drone following him, at least on the way there, I think. On the way back to the pits, they had a drone following him.
Yes.
Because we're like, holy cow. Because at first we thought it was Jason. I'm like, dude, this guy's blazing.
No.
And later on, he's like, no, that was my co-driver who also does CrossFit.
Jason, his name's Jason as well, Jason Berger.
So he's
correct?
like, he's like, I would like to give a shout out to him. He's like, because I'd have never made that.
But that sucks. I mean, to be in the lead
Oh,
and
yeah.
to run out of fuel. It's kind of like Bailey Campbell.
Yeah.
Female racer leading the race, and it was like a $4 part that messed her up and made her not. It was a water pump issue, I think.
Oh, leading overall, leading everyone,
Yeah,
not just her class,
she
but
would
literally leading overall in the 4400 car.
Be the first female
ever.
She will be.
Yeah, yeah.
She'll be there. I have good faith in her.
Again,
she's a great driver.
Your dad and your brother sometimes are your biggest competition, so I think they're helping sharpen skills.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
Again, JT whipping up here, checking stuff out. Over there talking to Christina. Again, Levi Shirley and Quentin are both out. You hate to see that happen.
So we're going to have somebody come up here for just a minute and chit-chat with us because he kicked some booty out there today. So let's bring that chair up there and introduce Mr. Colin Truitt, who won our UTV race this morning. Colin, how are you this evening?
I am good. I'm getting a little bit colder now, though.
Yeah.
So how was driving this morning? Was it pretty brisk this morning when you're in the car?
Yes, but 100%. My fingers were frozen. I'll tell you that much.
That's what Terry Madden said. He said, literally, my fingertips were starting to freeze. He said, at one point, I couldn't even move them.
Yeah, I was racing with him a little bit this morning. He was moving good, but, yeah, the only thing on me cold was my fingertips, and they were frozen.
You need a heated steering wheel.
He had a heated steering wheel?
You need a heated steering wheel.
No, I can't afford that.
So Colin is a well-seasoned racer. He has multiple championships.
Yeah.
He also is going to be out here next weekend.
Heck
He's
yeah.
3 weeks on the road. So last week he was at Texplex. This week he's here. Next week he's back
Doing
here.
the short course stuff.
Yeah, short course. Running the pro stock class, pro and A stuff. And, we're having good luck with that this year. It's been a good year so far. We're 5 for 5 on wins this year already.
There you go.
It's going good. It's better than last year.
That's good. How was the racing this morning? What did the course feel like?
This morning it was still frozen, so it was slick, sliding. You're trying to find traction everywhere. You're trying not to hit a tree, but the track was really fun. There was only like 2 sections where it's beating the crap out of you, but other than that, it was really fun.
It's funny because every driver we've had up here has been like, this is a lot of fun.
Exactly.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So tell us first, what was your favorite part of the race course? And then next, tell us what was your least favorite part of the race course?
Well, being as I was a woods racer, I like trees. So the trees were really fun, and I'm glad to be back in trees again, but the short course was pretty fun. These guys put together a heck of a short course, so that was a fun short course.
So so what was your least favorite?
Least favorite, water crossings. I didn't want to get wet this morning, so
Gotcha.
I was going baby slow through the water, and I was probably losing time. That
It
was
didn't
for
look
sure.
like you were going baby slow.
Yeah.
Well, not the first few laps, but
Right. No, so the style start we did, I know at the MidAmerica race, or not MidAmerica, what is it, the Mid East series that you race?
Yeah.
That's kind of the similar.
land rush, dead engine start. Yeah, we did that in woods racing. We did it for a long time.
And explain what a land rush dead engine start is.
Everybody all at once, and cars are off. As soon as the flag waves, you crank it and hope for the best.
Hope for the best.
Yeah.
So here's something I was actually talking about, because the UTV World Championship I've raced before, and sometimes when you turn the car on, instant from completely off on, the power steering won't kick in right away.
Oh, yeah?
So do you start with the key on that one click before turning it all the
No,
way over?
I usually turn it on and let it set for a little bit. So normally we get like a 10-second warning. And
here.
when they say 10 seconds, about 2 seconds in, you turn the key on and you just wait for them to drop the flag or throw the flag or whatever, and you just turn it. I mean, my RS1 usually starts just like a rocket ship, but this morning going back and forth with the pyrotechnics, whatever they're called, fireworks things.
Yeah.
It didn't want to crank, so I was like 11th out of the hole.
11th
out of the hole, but you didn't do too bad. Did you ever battle with your dad out on course?
Right in the short course right over there. Apparently I passed him, and then the next corner he rolled over. So.
Oh, okay, he was the one that rolled over.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, my goodness. Because I co-drove for your dad at the Stone Scramble. And what was that, in Kentucky? Last year?
Tennessee, yeah.
Yeah, that was quite fun.
I almost won that race.
You've won a lot of races, though. So
I like to think so.
So how many championships do you have under your belt again?
I have 8 championships, specific UTV. 3 of them are national, and most of the other ones are all UTV.
Okay.
Like pro or almost pro. So
because you raced like GNCC, all that kind of stuff.
GNCC, Mid-East, UTV Rally Raid.
We got GNCC. We're at Illinois, Indiana.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of GNC guys up where we're at.
Yeah, there was a lot of us, and there was a lot of good competition at GNCC.
Yeah.
They've spread out everywhere now.
Yeah, and it's pretty competitive.
Yeah, super competitive.
And again, that's a lot of woods courses,
Yes.
some trees, some trails. It's a lot of fun. I got a buddy who used to race quad in it and loves GNCC.
Oh, the track, the racing, the community, it was all just really fun, really good stuff. But once UTV stopped racing there, we all spread out, and the top drivers from GNCC went and dominated everybody else. So,
so I know your yearly schedule is to do the MidAmerica short course racing, the side-by-side racing,
yes.
and you're committed to going to Texas and racing.
Yeah.
After today, do you think you might try to push a couple of the East Coast Ultra 4 races at all?
There's a few that's on our schedule, but our schedule's pretty packed. Like at least twice a month, we're leaving to Oklahoma and Texas. So we'll be for sure at Visions and Legends of Fall, but that's the only ones we can guarantee right now.
Yeah,
so
you have a full schedule for sure.
Full packed. I mean, we looked at it, put it all on a calendar, and we're like, can we do this?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I
It's
mean,
one
you
of
do
those-
this all the time. So
All the time. Yeah, this is kind of what I do for work.
And you have quite a few sponsors. You gave me your sponsors in a message. So
I
you
did.
have quite a few
It's
people.
like a PDF file.
Right.
It's like, hey, by the way, I'd like to
I
thank
know.
all of these people.
I know. Do
She,
I need to pull it up for you?
You probably do, because it's a lot. I mean, you
Here,
told me to
let's
send
do
you a
that.
list, and I started typing it out, and I'm like, okay, this is liced. This list is getting pretty big.
Okay,
Sure.
so we're actually going to go to a commercial really quick, and we're going to come back, and you can tell us about
All
your
right,
sponsors.
sweet.
So let's go to commercial.
All right.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We had Chip McLaughlin while we were on break just blaze through. So I think he's starting his 3rd lap now.
He is on his 3rd lap
so
right
third
now.
lap, blazing through. Again, he's still our leader. Again, hopefully, fingers crossed, he can hang on to that lead. And again, it's been 20 seconds probably. So
It sounds like someone's coming through right now, possibly.
I know he had a little bit of a lead. Each time I think his lead's growing by a few seconds. But again, so hopefully he was running some blazing fast times. Again, now that the sun's starting to go down, hopefully he can get rid of the shadows, make some quick woods time.
And we're still here with Mr. Colin Truitt. He's actually down here now pitting for Chad Hunt. So
Yeah, which is right there.
Yeah,
Just coming across the line.
Yeah. That was perfect timing.
Yeah, that was
He's like,
perfect
who you
timing.
pitting for?
I didn't
He's like,
even
that
plan
car?
that.
Good intro.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like you knew he was coming.
I knew he was coming at some point. I could
Yeah.
hear something, but no, yeah. So we were talking before we went to break that about your sponsors. You have quite a few that help you out. So just tell us about a couple of those people, because you have such a busy race schedule.
It's a long list, but I'm going to list at least a few here. We got Polaris Razor. They've been helping us for 7 years or so, and it's good to be back on them this year. DFS Engine, which is Jody Hickman, he's been helping us last 2 years. He's tremendous help. Hoosier Tire stepped onto our program for the short course. HMF Exhaust is a real big one. And Raceline Wheels has been helping us for the last 2 years. That's some of our bigger few, but we've got a lot of other guys that are for sure part of the program, and every one of them matters big time.
And you're going to do the short course here this season?
Yes.
And Raceline, actually, they're a sponsor of this race
Yes,
too, of the 918 Grand Prix, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the guy we used to deal with, he was a big part of this stuff, but I think he got a better job or bigger job somewhere else, so I had to move contacts, but he was a good guy.
Yeah, that happens in the industry sometimes.
It does, but you got to be happy for them because they're progressing.
Here we go. This is Mr. Zandy Willems.
There we go.
The other Rufus, he is Rufus Racing.
Yes.
That's what Chip will always say is that Zandy is
And again,
Rufus.
that's our third place. So we got first and third for the Rufus Racing team.
These guys are moving.
They're black.
Yeah, they are.
Every time you hit that puddle, you think, "Ooh, that's cool."
I didn't do it this morning. I didn't like it.
Yeah, again, to seeing the guys back, Terry Madden was saying that there were some big puddles back there.
Yeah.
He said it was pretty chilly.
There were some sections that were basically just running water the whole time.
Yeah.
So you're out there trying to dodge and weave out of water, trying to get wet.
He actually told us that his rag, he asked his co-driver for a rag, and he went to wipe his visor, and it froze to his visor.
Yeah, I came in for a pit. My visor was frozen closed. I couldn't get it open, so they had to pry it up.
You came in just fueled and went, right?
Yeah, just fuel. So we put in 2.5 gallons, which was half a gallon, almost too little, because I was running out of fuel on the last lap.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
And again, that pit strategy comes into play big time when you're running 10 laps.
And here we have the 178 of Aaron Smith.
Again, having
Yeah,
that.
it does. We did a lot of endurance races when we started, so we had to figure it out. But
Yeah, and having that pit strategy plays in huge because if you don't want to put a whole bunch of extra fuel because that weighs your car down. But not having enough, we've seen 2 guys already have to jog back and forth with fuel cans just today alone. So.
Oh yeah, I was. So we did 2.5 gallons because it was faster to pour 2.5 than 5. Should have done 3, but as soon as I hit the short course, I jumped for the white flag lap, hit the short course, went around one corner of the car, went blah, blah, blah.
Oh, you knew.
Yeah,
okay.
I was like, whoop, I better baby it now.
Yeah.
So it died one time on the final lap, but it still came in, had good enough cushion to get it in.
Thank goodness. Look, you can see the sunset is going to definitely start playing a factor here for these drivers.
Hopefully don't get much more colder.
We were talking about, hold on, we have Tim Hooper just coming through. Nice. That was a nice launch.
Just airing it out.
Yeah.
So we were talking earlier, and you as a driver and doing a lot of woods racing, it's like when the sun starts going down, it starts playing with you a little bit. The
it
shadows.
does. The tree shadows and the holes don't look as dark or as deep, and they are more deep, so it's... You know, these guys, they got big headlights and stuff. They're used to running in the dark sometimes, so they got stuff to light up the world, but it still mess with these shadows and everything. So
and that's what we talked about, having the trees start to get shadows and they start kind of growing or leaning, and you think you can hook a corner a lot tighter than you can, or you think you have more room on the outside you can. So that starts playing. And trees don't really forgive too much.
No, they don't. They don't care about you. They really don't.
And the one thing too, it's like, I mean, it's not a huge factor here, but like when we're racing at certain venues that have large rocks, like in race course that you're avoiding the whole time, when it starts getting dark, that's when you're like, oh, you got to remember where those rocks are so you don't hit it in the dark.
I haven't done any super crazy technical races in dark. So I think some guy just went through the pit.
Yes, he did. And I'm not, that's the number 40 of Liam Maurice. Is it Maurice or Morris?
I think it's Maurice.
I'm not going to take a shot at that.
Yeah.
It's spelled Morice. Maurice?
There we go.
Okay. Looks like a tire change. Yeah.
Probably is.
I'm hoping I can stay up here during my guy's pit stop. So.
There you go.
Come up here.
There goes Mr. Kevin Taylor.
Oh, yeah, jump through.
I love the way that car looks.
That Porsche. It's always.
Yeah.
It's a retired rock bouncer car, right?
It is.
For the Porsche body, which is crazy. I saw it earlier.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You want some chocolate?
Tiny.
I'll share.
I'll say no to that.
I'll share.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I was going to share too.
Oh, I'll do both of them.
I shared. It's okay, Clive. I took care of them. You know what?
We're getting spoiled. We're getting chocolate.
We always try to bring our snacky snacks up, you know.
Don't you have a bowl of snacky snacks?
All my snacks are back at the toter home.
Yeah. That's super.
Oh, wow.
Bam. I got all kinds of stuff in there.
That is a whole bowl.
Yeah, I got candy bars, got Singers. Oh, yeah. A Snickers bar? Well, yeah, come on.
Yeah, sure.
I'll show
Come
love.
prepared.
Listen, we take our snacky snacks pretty serious around here.
I always have snacks, but we can't smack on our microphones.
Well, if you do, you just can't chomp real loud.
Everybody at home
How's
does
that
not want to
possible?
hear us smacking.
Yeah, it's
That's a
okay.
pet peeve of mine.
Move that away.
I always laugh. I always crack open a soda really loud right in the mic. I've done it with Prix before, and it's super funny. We'll go to crack. I'll lean over and just crack it open really loud. She's always like, "Come on, Matt." I'm like, "What? I'm just trying to have some soda." You know?
The
It's
Snickers
frozen.
bar is frozen.
Frozen? Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet.
Makes it a little hard to eat.
Yeah, it's more of a crunchy candy bar. You know. Here, I'll throw your trash away.
Thank you.
Get a little crunchy candy bar there.
So Chip McLaughlin's last lap was a 16:13. So his fastest was, what was it earlier? A 15 what?
It was like 15 and a half.
15:04, I thought.
Yeah, it was. It was no, it was like a 15, like 34 something.
Or
I think.
15:4. Something like that.
Yeah, it was like mid 15 minutes.
That's pretty fast.
But
Oh,
our
that
top
was
seven
flying.
Yeah.
our top 7 are on the same lap. That has not happened all day long.
Yeah, that's impressive.
7
again.
laps remaining is what that's saying. So yes,
Okay.
super excited.
I think they're on their 4th lap. They just finished their 3rd lap. I think that's what we're doing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's like 3rd lap completed, I should say.
Yeah.
So they're on their 4th lap, but yeah, 3rd lap completed, I believe.
I think that's
Again,
right.
look, 16 seconds to 17 seconds. They're all right within about a second window of each other, which means they're pushing hard, feeling good. Again, I haven't seen anything from Levi Shirley yet, so I'm not sure if they got him drug out of the woods or.
Yeah, he went through the woods over there and came back and never came back out.
Yeah, he was
Well-
flying. Him and
It was
Ryan
him and
Rock-
Ryan Rockhold, yes.
Yeah, we're battling pretty hard, and for some reason, Ryan came flying out of the woods, and we never saw Shirley. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure
They said they had electrical issues,
some kind of.
and they were trying to get him refired.
Well,
Which
I know
stinks.
Chad Hunt went in right up there in 5th place and
Yeah.
then came back out in 3rd. And we were like, well, that's good for him.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
That's the guy we're pitting for. So you might want to pull for the guy that you're pitting for.
yeah.
It's like watching a larger, like a NASCAR race or something, and actually knowing somebody that's in
Yeah,
in the race.
Yeah. That's
So how
makes it
there's the
different.
barn. How did you like racing through that barn today?
It was dusty in there.
Oh, you're the
Yeah.
Terry said the same thing.
Yeah, we were going wide out open, and it was wet a little bit, and then all of a sudden you hit the barn and it's dust. You can't see anything.
It's like baby
blind.
powder kind of thing.
It was baby powder dust. I almost hit one of the barn poles.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, I turned a little early and had to straighten back
Oh.
up and do it again.
That's exactly what Terry said. He said if you turn too early, you're going to hit the pole. If you turn too late, you're going to end up in a creek. So
Yeah.
it's just
There's a
sprinkler
just
system.
wild set of trees right in front of it, and if you missed it, you were going to feel it. So
But other than that,
it was kind of cool, and it was just an extra added feature.
Yeah,
You know?
that's what a lot of guys raced in. How cool it was.
Yeah. There was a lot of cool things about this race this weekend.
Yeah.
So the Thunder Valley was cool. I mean, cool stuff.
yeah, this jump right here is pretty cool. I wish I would have been having my phone out earlier when you went through.
Oh, I wasn't doing anything big like these guys.
These guys are flying, especially Chip. Look at the video
he is
right now
sending
going
it.
through. Oh, you can see the dust kick up as soon as he
Yeah.
went into the barn.
Super dusty under there, and then you get back out and it's slick as ice again. But the crazy thing is this morning we were racing in ice and wet mud, and then all of a sudden there was a spot of dust.
Yeah.
It was not even in the
Kind
barn.
of funny. Yeah.
Yeah, not even in the barn. There was a straightaway back there that was kind of dusty.
And we could see when the EMC race started, there was also dust that was kicking up, and you could tell like in certain areas it was already drying out just a little bit, just enough to, kick the dust up.
Just enough to change your whole game plan.
Yeah, just enough to change your whole game plan.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it.
Again, you can still see some of that sunlight there. It's quickly fading, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out at nighttime.
I think these guys are going to finish in the dark.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
we even looked at the temperature?
Cold. Very cold.
It says it's 42, but it feels like
It
it's
is.
like 20.
There's no way it's 42 degrees.
That's
I'm telling you, there's no way it's 42 degrees.
all right.
Yeah, it feels like it's 12 degrees.
Sunset is at 6:24, so we have 22 minutes
Yeah.
I
until
don't
sunset.
think they're going to make it.
Oh,
I
they
don't-
definitely won't
no.
because they
No.
have 7 laps remaining.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think they're going to get that one in.
No.
He's like, yeah. They would get one lap.
We'll
in.
get one more lap in,
Yeah.
and then they got it'll be almost half the race day,
We
half
had
the race dark.
4 guys all in the 16-minute range, so
wow.
they're pushing pretty hard. I'll see if we can see that again. It's 16 minutes for the first 4, and then 17.
See the dust?
So
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
It's so crazy because you guys did not have that this morning.
No, we had ice. The ground
Yeah.
was literally frozen.
frozen. Yeah, we were coming down. We knew how muddy it was, when I came down this morning at 7:30, all the ground was super hard and crunchy, which I was glad. But I knew as the race progressed, it would go from really hard and rough terrain to really slick, and guys would be sliding all over. So, and then obviously as the big cars came out, hopefully the sun would be out and they could dry it out pretty quick.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of crazy to see how the terrain would change throughout the day of racing.
I didn't think it changed that much, and we were out there for 2.5, 3 hours. And,
roughly 3 hours.
I mean, it turned from not mud to
back to dry again.
Kind of tacky. It was changing for sure in short time.
Make sure adjust your race strategy too.
Yeah.
So
you just try not to hit trees most of the time.
Yeah, right. Trees are not your friend out there.
It was funny because rock bouncing, it's the exact opposite. On a hill where you're bouncing up really violent hills, trees are your friend because when you start rolling, they'll save you, grab you from rolling all the way back down. So
or you can use their tree roots as extra traction.
Yeah. Well, so for rock bouncing, it's when we race, it's the exact opposite. So we were in Windrock last weekend talking about that. Me and Bree were saying how trees are your friend, trees are your friend. Here, endurance racing, exact opposite way.
They're not your friends when you hit them the wrong way. That's
right?
for sure.
Yeah, they will stop you. It's what are you doing?
I mean, if you're in a turn and maybe have to bounce off of a tree, I mean, that sometimes is okay unless you hit it a little too hard.
You can do it. If you do it right, you can pivot. Or you can use a tree to pivot.
I was thinking, a lot of guys have the tree kickers on the side-by-sides that race the endurance series where you have a big tree kicker.
Tree guards,
and if it's a real hard pivot, you can use the tree to kind of pivot with.
Yeah,
I've seen Paul Wolf do that a couple of times, and just Travis Skelton, a couple of guys that really are really good wheelmen. They can get out there and pivot quite a bit, but
look at the grounds out there. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
The sun is setting, and the colors are changing of the trees.
All the water.
It's
and
absolutely gorgeous.
Grass and
it
fields.
is. That's a great overall shot of just
snow,
the town.
Yeah.
The snow, most of the snow is gone, though.
I know. That snow was it was sticking to everything, but it wasn't sticking hard, I mean, you could drop something in it, and it would fall straight to the bottom. So it was very light.
It was a light snow.
Yes. A lot, but a light.
Yeah.
That makes any sense.
It was funny because you could see on the overcasts on some of the other hills over there, you could see it was later in the afternoon, you could see all the snow's built off, and then you see a hill with the shade, and it was still all covered in snow.
Yeah. If it snows hard enough, that snow will stay there forever.
Yeah.
So.
And bring those rock bouncers up those hills with the snow.
Yeah.
There's that tight 180 back into the it's a real fast section between trees. You're going about 65 between the trees, that tight little road right there.
Yeah, Ryan Rockhold was flying through that section on that first lap.
And isn't that where we never saw him come back out?
We saw him flying through there, and then the camera...
It's a sharp right at 90 at the bottom.
We panned to a different shot, and we never saw him again.
That section, it gets real tight, and then you got a pretty gnarly hill climb to another field.
Which sucks, because I think he was he was trying to set the world on fire. He was blazing through there.
Well, JT Taylor likes to make a nice, difficult course for these racers. He's not going to make it easy.
Well, and everybody has said they just love it.
Right?
Everybody has raced it so far. Has come out and said how much fun it has been today. So
not one person has said they did not have fun out there. Even the people that came up, it was Trevor Foltz. He came up and talked.
Yeah.
He didn't finish, but yet he was super stoked and said how much fun the course was.
There's that super steep hill climb there. He's just going up.
Kind of see the car wiggling a little bit there.
Yeah. That one was like a sharp left 90 up the hill, and then you just give it gas the whole way. That's all you can do.
I'm trying to make out if that was the fuel works of Tim Hooper, because his car, I believe, is the only all-white car out there with the blue fuel works, the blue and red fuel works on the side.
I don't want to sound like a novice, but I am. Which TV do I look at?
So this one is the live feed, so it has a couple seconds delay. That one... this one has a couple more seconds than that one, I should say.
And that's the one I'm going off of.
And that actually, it's funny. If you're watching the action here live, that section, because of the lag,
delays,
it's actually a 5-10 second delay from here.
So they'll go through the finish line, go through that TV, and then pop up on that computer.
Yes.
Got it.
So it's kind of cool if we get to watch some crash that's really violent. We can watch it on that one, and then we can turn around and watch it on this one.
We don't want to watch anything like that.
I don't hope we see anything like that.
It's me and Bree always appreciate it because we get our own little instant replay.
This is I think this is either Zandy or Chip.
A Chip, I think.
That is the leader right there.
I believe so.
He's jumped the same every time.
Yeah, he's out on that. I keep forgetting to get my phone out and take a video of him.
There we go. He ran a 16:15.
16.
He is. That's a 16:15 he just ran, and that's about what he's ran. He ran a 15-something, I think, his first lap, and he's ran about 16 seconds as every lap after that.
What did I say earlier? I said you'll never run your fastest lap on your first lap, and so far Chip has.
Yeah.
He proved me wrong.
But he has been screaming today.
Yeah, it's consistent. It sounds like
Oh,
He's
super
very
consistent.
consistent 16s. That'll win you races.
And I'm sure his crew told him, hey, listen, keep pushing, but be smart. You're already in the lead. You got about a 30-second buffer. Take your time. Pick your lines.
I know a lot of people down in the Texas area, but if you're ever down there for one of your races, you should get in contact with those guys and go hang out with them. They're pretty
Eco
cool.
Staff is the name on their door, but I don't know which ones they are personally.
So Rufus Racing is the name of the race team.
Okay.
Eco Staff is who their sponsor is.
Okay.
But Chip would be the guy probably to call. Call Chip, and he can get you in contact with everybody, and he would probably show you a really good time. He does. We race in Windrock, or we race at down near Dallas-Fort Worth area. So Chip always comes out, helps us do some racing.
I know he races. They race UTVs as well, so they're familiar with what we do.
Right.
Bridgeport, Texas.
Bridgeport, Texas.
That's where our first race of the season is every year. So we race down there, and it's a lot of fun. The Northwest OHV is the name of the off-road park. It's actually owned by the town. It's the only off-road park I've ever been to that's actually owned by the town. It's super,
wow.
super neat. They have a board, like the town board is who runs the off-road park. Yeah, it's
nice.
It's super neat. They have like the waterworks department. They have the ambulance, fire truck, and then they have the off-road park. So
is that where that one big event that takes place during spring break? Isn't that where that is, or no?
That's
it's not
Bridgeport.
Okay.
No. That's right next to Paychecks.
Here we have your
second place.
Yep.
Aaron Smith.
Nope,
Chad Hunt. I'm sorry.
Hunt, yep.
So my bad.
That is.
And Chad, he qualified in 10th position, so he's running in second right now.
I know. We were talking to him over there the first time we met him, and he's acting like he wasn't that fast.
He's almost 2 minutes behind Chip.
Yeah, a minute, almost 2 minutes.
1:56.
And 15:56. So 16:56. So really close to Chip's time. He's a couple 20, 30 seconds behind Chip.
I think he's playing it safe.
40 seconds. Yeah, but again, if you're in second place. And you're very comfortable in second place, there's no point in pushing it and trying to break the car.
Especially if the guy in front of you is pushing down, putting down
really
some hard laps. Yeah,
because again, like I said,
anything can happen. It's an endurance race.
It is.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's 6 laps remaining, so at some point Chip might bring it down a notch.
Yeah,
because why risk it? You can hear the next one coming.
This should be Zandy coming in behind us.
Yeah, he was running in that third position earlier. You can hear it. Can you hear it, Colin?
I'm not going to lie. These things sound awesome.
Awesome. They
here
are.
He comes right here.
And Zandy, he's been sitting it too.
He was a little more mild on that one.
He was.
He seemed to tone it down a little bit on that one.
See what his time was?
16:43.
That's still hauling.
I think they're jumping far enough over the water to not get wet.
That's their plan.
Their speed is a little faster, too, so they can kind of skim it a little more.
We got the front gears.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now.
The front gears. Oh, we have Mr. Ryan Rockhold over here. I'm going to hand my headset to him.
Okay.
I'm going to let you guys talk to him, and he can, because he was leading that race. So, Ryan, come on up here for a minute. Chit-chat with these boys. Because this is Colin Truitt. He's in your area quite a bit, and anyways, he was the one who won the UTV race this morning. So here you go.
Awesome. Oh,
here you go, Ryan.
Ryan, you need to go back and watch our live feed. We were talking to you because you were setting the world on fire this morning.
Yeah. So the thing is, I bought a new car, and I told everybody we're going to come out here and finish the limits on that old one.
You
were figure out what was going to happen.
You were setting it on fire. You and Levi were battling. I mean, a couple points you guys were like touching wheels as you were skimming through that knockout section.
He actually crushed my rear bumper.
Are you serious?
On those,
it looked
heels.
It looked like he got into you, but I was like, maybe they were just getting close,
Yeah. No.
So you guys were battling right out of the gate.
Hard.
Wow.
Yep.
Whole shot. You need to go back and watch your whole shot because you smoked it.
Well, that's what that car is essentially it's set up for. Is I knew I was going to be a little outwheeled on the IFSs and the short course and stuff. So we put in the 620s and we let her eat.
Yeah, it took off. The launch was incredible. Go back and watch. You came out leaps and bounds and got the jump on Levi and smoked the short course section. Came out with the knockout. We're blazing through the woods and I was saying one of the short sections through the woods. You were flying, and I was like, he is smoking this course. Yeah. And then the next thing we know, we've seen a bunch of cars coming, and we didn't see yours. Love the wrap, by the way. The wrap is awesome.
Yeah.
So
is that the chrome gold? Or what?
It was orange chrome.
Oh, orange
all I had was orange wheels for the weekend.
You're like, hey, it works.
Yeah.
So what happened in the woods?
So we actually, it was that hard 90 and going up the hill.
Okay.
And it's got a little lip at the top, and I was a little offset when I was trying to miss the tree. because I was already setting up for the corner.
Yep.
And it gave me a little bounce and shock loaded the front and popped the gears.
Man.
Yeah. So I'm betting it's a ring gear, something pretty simple. I've got gears in the trailer, so.
Yeah. And again, something that simple, that easy. We always talk about, the $2 bolt can take your that can end your race day. So a set of gears is pretty cheap, pretty easy fix. You hate to have it happen in a 10-lap race because you don't have enough time to get it fixed.
Right.
But
was that lap 1 or lap 2?
That was 1.
Lap 1.
I didn't even make a lap. Yeah.
That's the worst.
And he was leading the entire pack and smoking the course.
I think
we were so excited to see
see
if you're going to. I said he is on pace to be the fastest lap of the day.
And I had it in my mind. I wanted to touch 14.
Oh,
That's
dude,
where I was
it would have been awesome.
That would have been flying.
Yeah. He was going fast enough he could have.
Because when I pre-ran, I could shift into third in a lot of those corners, in those back in them woods and the trees.
The tight ones,
Yeah. And in third, I'm running around 80-ish. So I mean, that car moves in the woods.
You could tell. And again, like I said, we go back and watch your live. You watch the first couple minutes of the race. You were hauling through there.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, dude, this guy's definitely going to be our fastest lap of the day.
Yeah.
Super excited. Again, hate the fact you. So you picked up the new car. Tell us about it.
It's an IFS, Jimmy's car.
Okay.
The more I drive my Strat Axle car, I don't know that it's going to be faster.
Really?
So, and I'm really worried about that. I just dumped a bunch of money for no reason.
Well, the good news is Jimmy makes good cars. So
absolutely.
If you do end up liking your straight axle car better, you can always hop back into it.
Absolutely. And I'm in there at the right price. So we'll at least be able to break even.
Jimmy makes a good car.
Yeah.
Jimmy makes a good car. A lot of guys run them,
Yeah, it's insane. My 12-year-old car is out here still doing what it is.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks you got to come in here and buy the biggest and the best stuff. Really, do your homework. Buy an older car. Learn how to drive that car.
Yeah.
There's 60% of these drivers, this is the only time they drive their car. We go wheel hours. You learn your car and your equipment.
Yeah, and kind of learn, where that tipping point is, how far to put it in the corner.
Yep.
Again, we're talking a little bit about the daytime versus the nighttime race. The sun's starting to go down. I see a couple guys turn lights on. How do you think that's going to come into play today?
It's going to be terrible. Y'all, the trees back there.
He didn't even church it up. He just said, it's going to be terrible.
It was already shadowed.
Yeah.
There was some shadows across, and I thought like a tree was across the road. And I would check up, and then there was nothing there. And I was like, oh, no. So just imagine if you got a car behind you putting shadows on you.
Oh,
it's going to be
We
rough.
talked a little about being shadows. And again, I said the biggest problem is as sun starts to set, you see shadows. And because there's still quite a bit of light out there, Kevin Taylor coming through, there's still enough light where you think it's that's not a shadow, but it is.
Right.
So now, you like you said, checking up, or maybe you think, oh no, I got way more room in this right turn, and you don't have more right room on that turn.
Then,
so
some of that creek cut out back there too, them little banks and stuff.
Yeah.
You're looking at a shadow, and now it's a 6-foot bank instead of a 1
Some
foot
of
you could just skip
ravines
off.
where they're swapping back and forth like crazy. Yeah, those will be a little tricky. You think anybody's thinking of a strategy for night? Maybe.
I'm betting. Like chipping them, they're pushing as hard as they can now, so they can check up.
Yeah,
so,
it's that's really what it's going to be. Slow down and be methodical.
Chip is leading. He's had 15 and low 16 times pretty much every time.
Yep.
He's 30 seconds probably ahead of Chad Hunt. So
had him a little buffer there.
I lied. 2 minutes. He had like a minute 55 seconds. So the last time he came through,
good.
And he was pushing 16. His last Chip's last lap was 16 minutes and 15 seconds, which is pretty much he's right around 15. He got in the 15s on his first lap, and after that it's been 16s pretty much ever since then.
Nice.
So I get pushing really hard.
Right.
I mean,
Yep.
like I said, he's 2 minutes ahead of the second place guy, and then Chad's about two minutes ahead of Zandy.
Oh.
So Zandy's sitting in third right now.
Yep.
So I very comfortable lead there. A couple minutes.
Yep.
And again, like you said, I think that's a really good strategy to have. 6 laps remaining. It looks like we got about 4 or 5 guys. 6 guys right now. Or Kevin Taylor was our 6th guy to come through. They all have 4 laps done. So. And we got Maurice, I think, is at the bottom.
I think that's him.
Right there? Okay.
Yeah, that's
coming
number 40.
So now we have 7. We got Quentin. Is Quentin? Okay, he's out.
Yeah, so the 7 are all on the same lap. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, and again,
Absolutely.
they've been a pretty tight racing. There's only about 18. Taylor was at pretty much everybody's 16, 17. Taylor was right around the 17 mark, and then Maurice was about 18. So, I mean, literally a 2-second or a 2-minute window between all of them. So, pretty tight times there.
Right.
I mean, they're all pushing pretty hard. And like you said, it makes a lot of sense. Push hard in the day and then kind of take your be a little more
You're
conservative.
You're going to have to back off. You're gonna have to. And that was my plan. Was I was going to go in as hot as I could for the first 3, do a fuel stop, and then come back out and
get a big lead. And
how many gallons your car
massage
hold?
It'll hold 40.
Yeah.
But driving it like I was, I get about 1 and 3/4.
I don't think those 40 gallons are going to last long.
Yeah. You might have to refill after every lap pushing that hard.
Right.
Again, it was super impressive to see.
Right.
I mean, when you're out running Levi Shirley, you're doing something right. You know, that guy's been a champion of Ultra 4 for a while. So I mean,
the guy is he's crazy fast.
Yeah,
crazy
and again,
that's I knew if I didn't. The way my car was set up, if I didn't get him on the jump and basically hold him off, I was never going to beat him to the trees.
And even watching some of the line right before you got the knockout, we had an aerial view, a drone ahead, watching you two split off and take different lines. I was like, oh my gosh, that was good. It was super neat to see, just good old-fashioned hardcore racing. Right. So you'll definitely have to go back and watch a live feed. It was really, really neat to see. And like I said, it sucks you're out for the day, but you got a new car.
It's part of it.
Luckily, MidAmerica is pretty close to Texas, so you guys can do some racing. So
I'm from Colorado.
Oh, Colorado. Wow, well, you're a ways from home.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it turned into be 13 1/4 or so.
Wow, yeah. Bit of a drive.
About like my drive. So.
What's Utah from you guys?
Moab 7
That's
and a half.
not bad.
No,
then.
yeah. So I'll have this car back at Moab.
Okay,
too.
I say it's only 3 weeks away. I think is Moab for us. So
yes, 3/8.
I'll probably just throw the other gear set in and try it that way.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So
check it out. Like I said, it bummer for the day, but
hey, it's part of it, but
yeah, it is.
I guess you can use it, chalk it up as a learning experience.
Right. Yeah.
Well, the biggest reason I come this weekend is because I'm coming to win Visions.
Oh,
yeah.
Visions I'm not just going to show up.
It's going to be a big race.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm assuming the course is going to be pretty similar to this.
I don't think we'll get snow, though.
In July?
Yeah.
I think we're going to have other problems.
The pool will be open. Concerts will be happening.
I'm excited.
This year at Visions, last year at Visions, it was a very good time. Lots of fun times were had. So it's a really good time. You can have as much fun as you want here during Visions.
Absolutely.
So it's a lot of fun. Again, like I say, I have all kinds of cool stuff going on. The concerts. And last year we were at a concert, and all of a sudden we see a guy get shot out of a cannon and lands in a net. I'm like, what is going on? And Jason's like, yeah, we brought that in. Like, he didn't tell anybody. He just added it in.
Totally normal thing to do.
Like, that is not normal,
The facilities here are amazing, and I want to. Everybody at home, y'all got to come see this place. And from what I hear on Visions, this was a riot. I can just imagine what Visions is going to be.
And again,
it's insane.
It's so cool. The first time I got to come here, I was like, this is. And I had heard some people, it's neat, they have cool, blah, blah, blah. And you come in and you're like, this place is awesome. Nice big wide concrete entrances, lots of RV hookups, heated and air-conditioned bathhouses. I mean,
lots of showers, lots of bathrooms,
Yeah, there's like 15 rows of showers. And they're individual showers. So like you walk into a bathroom.
With a bathtub.
You have a toilet, a bathtub, and a shower.
They have, by Visions, they're going to have 400 to 500 RV hookups.
That's
50 to 75 cabins to rent. So again, depending on whatever how many friends you want to bring, whatever your situation is. Plus, they have, like he said, 2,000, 3,000 open camping spots. So whatever you want to do, you can do it here. So that's pretty cool. Again, the pool will be open.
The cabins, I got a wet cabin this weekend.
Yep.
So awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a king-size bed, a giant room, a fridge, a sink.
And the cool part is, if you're in a cabin, you can tell your buddies, hey, we got a cabin. You can sleep. We got air mattresses, whatever works.
I guarantee you could throw another king air mattress in the floor.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Wow.
Again, it depends. We have a couple.
I walked in and it was just thrown back. I was like, well, this is not what I expected.
It is.
Especially
this is not
for the
a
price
cabin.
point, too.
Yeah.
It was insane. I can show up with a flatbed trailer and race all weekend.
It is awesome.
Comfortably.
Like I said, and then right on the cabin area is their food court. I've seen 2 or 3 food trucks there. Usually they have, during Visions, they'll have 6 or 7 different food trucks. They have the carports where everybody can eat it underneath it. It's so much fun.
All the awnings. I mean, you can get out of the sun if you want to. Or
wash bays, clean your cars.
Yeah.
That is
free.
Yeah, that
pull
is
in there,
crazy.
wash all the mud off, take a nice clean car home, and again, Ray's doing rock bouncing stuff. The super nice thing, you pull in, you wash all the mud off, so if you do have to go home and replace an axle, you now can back a nice clean car into the shop and start working on it. It's so nice. Plus you're not hauling it all home,
That's some things most people don't even get.
So.
No. I brought my power washer because I didn't even know that. And then I showed up, I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't need this anymore. Throw it back in the trailer.
And they had one location, and too many people were waiting, so Jason's like, we'll fix it. So the next time we were here, they had another one. I'm like,
I think there's 3 or 4 bays now, and then they said there's one here at the pavilion.
Yeah, they have 2 different locations for them, so that's what's super awesome. Again,
this is my first time here, too.
Yeah, this is blowing me away.
It is. And like I said, it's and what's crazy is every time I've been here, they add something completely different.
Right.
Like, it's like, what is going on? The drag strip, he's like, yeah, we're today on the live feed, we got him down here, and we were quizzing him on some of the cool stuff coming out. And he's like, I can't tell everything, but he goes, we have a dirt drag strip now. He goes, we're going to try to add a sand drag strip next to that, and then an asphalt drag strip. And, I mean, their drag strip, I thought it'd be like, it's just 2 little dirt lanes. No, it's professional timing, scoreboard. I mean, it's like going to like a true drag strip.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's awesome.
I didn't even know he had
the
that.
people.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all their employees and their staff are just amazing.
Super nice. It's awesome.
You can't walk in the door without somebody greeting you and say, hey, is there anything I can help you with?
Yeah.
You know, even if you're just there to look around.
Up at the general store, they have a coffee shop. Like, it's like, hey, you want some coffee? Like, what is going on?
A full-blown coffee shop.
Yeah,
and
so-
then a steakhouse. I ate a ribeye yesterday.
Yeah.
It was good ribeye. I was
it's-
like, goodness gracious.
It's going to spoil us. We
Yeah.
go back to like a
we're
regular
going to go to a
off-road
regular
park.
race
Yeah.
and we're going to
Yeah.
Go to Moab, just sit in the desert.
Yeah. So I say, it's super nice to have it, like I said, the big wide concrete entrance for Rock Road so we can park trucks and trailers. It's super nice to be, again, if you do have to work on a car, for Visions, there's some stuff where guys will be doing multiple days of racing. So, even if you're just doing qualifying one day and racing the next, if you have an issue, it's so nice to be able to put it on a rock road. We saw guys last night changing a transmission. So, it's so nice to have this nice dry rock road.
There goes Chip.
Chip flying through there again. That's his fifth lap, so he has 5 laps to go.
Clocked off a 16:20. Look at that.
Hang on, this is his new time. We'll see what he's at. 16:20.837.
He ain't slowing down. For
No,
nothing.
I think that's in roughly his time last 3 laps.
I think the last one was 6:15, so he's not slowing down.
Not at all. We'll see.
16:13 was as fast as I think.
Yeah. Yep. We'll see what his. I'm interested to see what the split is right now because he's been gaining about. It was 2 minutes, right? Minute and 57 seconds. Yeah. So it's right at 2 minutes. We'll see what it is this time. See if he can't spread that lead.
He's gaining, I think, at least 20, 30 seconds a lap.
Yeah, which again makes, like you said,
That's
perfect sense. When you said that, I was like, that's a really good idea.
Because you're going to have to back. I bet this lap he probably backs
off.
Maybe one more.
It's dark out here, but it's way darker in the woods.
Like I said earlier, I'd already thought there was a tree across this.
Yeah.
So. And you had plenty of sunlight.
Yeah, that was quite a bit of sunlight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So. And again, they're talking, and we started this race at about 4:30ish. We're probably going to be out here for 2.5 hours, so it'll be closer to 7. It's 6:25 now, so we're about about an hour away from the finish of the race in theory. So in an hour from now, it will be pitch black. So again, lighting comes into play there. Plus, again, how much you pre on the course.
You got to think too. These guys that were chasing in the mud and stuff too. Their lights aren't going to be there.
Oh yeah,
half their lights
I know.
So.
That's what I was worried about with some of those guys. I looked; they had two big old light bars on the front. I'm like, those are on the front, right?
Yeah.
I hope you're not behind anybody for any part of the race.
Yeah. So
and that was something that I'd seen today from all the snow melt in those trees and down in them canyons. More mud puddles than there ever was.
Oh, yeah.
I blew through one thinking it was just a skimmer, and I drenched myself.
We accidentally dug those out this morning pretty bad.
Yeah.
I was going way out of the way to avoid them and back on the trail.
I should have paid attention to that, but I just blowed right through it, and I was like, oh, no.
Terry Madd was down there talking about going through one of the big first puddles real early this morning, and he said, first puddle hit, I thought, I'll grab my rag, and it just stuck to my face mask. He said, I just had to open it, and it was like flopping on there for a while. But, it's a pretty good time. We got some more action coming on. Taylor didn't have his headset on. So,
well, cool, guys. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate hopping up here.
Good to meet you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck. We'll see you, like I said, a few weeks here at Utah. So it's a good time. I know Terry was talking about it, so I'm sure it'll be a good time.
Yep.
Well, just think about it. You only got some gears to change and bring the car back out. That's brand new. So
hey, and make sure everybody tells JT happy birthday.
I will.
All
right, we'll see you.
Well, there's my guy going through the pit. I wonder what he's doing.
Yeah, and we'll be back right after these messages.
That is second place.
Ready for any challenge. Maxxis tires can handle even the most punishing off-road conditions. Maxxis tires. Tread victoriously.
why we were so excited when we found these new Gates Redline belts. They have a super simple 3-step process for breaking in your belt the right way. Clean the sheaths with a Scotch-Brite pad. Remove any old belt residue, glazing, oil, or debris on the clutch sheath area with alcohol or acetone, and make sure the breather tubes are free of any old belt material. Step 2, install your new Gates Redline belt. Step 3, perform 2 10 to 15 minute heat cycles, giving it easy throttle on flat ground. Then, you're going to repeat for the second heat cycle.
The best part, the process is so simple and easy, it really helped us with our competitiveness.
All right, we are back, and it's getting a little dark now. We see some light bars kicking on.
And some of them have been running them the whole time, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So we have Chip McLaughlin came through again. We've had Colin Truitt up here with you and Ryan Rockhold. Unfortunate for Ryan Rockhold.
Yeah, he said he blew a front diff, which stinks. He said, I was blazing through, and he said, I came up, hit a little bit of lip, came down and landed. When I landed, he said, I blew it out. He said, he kind of had the same philosophy we talked to. I said, so how do you think some of the guys are going to go? And he talked about some of the speeds, and he said, well, some of the guys are getting out and pushing it really, really hard early. Mm-hmm. That way they can get a little bit of lead, especially Chip.
Right.
Get out there, set that good lead, get out a couple-minute barrier, and then back it off a little bit as night falls. That way you don't have to worry about hitting stuff.
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt. I just saw that come across. Chad Hunt, he was a minute 56 behind Chip.
Okay.
That just now on this last lap, he was 2 minutes and 42 seconds behind Chip McLaughlin.
Almost a full minute.
Right.
Almost a full 3 minutes.
He did come in and stop.
Okay.
And somebody else is in right now as well. I can't quite make out who that is. That's actually Tim Hooper, the Fuel Works.
Okay. Great car.
Very good car.
Again, you can see the big floodlights out there, so we still have a little bit of daylight left. So we still got some really great shots there. Very quickly though, we will be down to just some floodlights.
And who else is out in the pit? They just screamed by with a little visual. I'm not sure exactly who that was.
Oh, that's Quentin, I believe. His
car's still in there.
Yeah. Okay. Again, we still have a little bit of sunlight left. You can see it's getting pretty dark behind us. We have a little bit of light left. We're going to try to get as much drone footage as we can in before those guys have to land and can't fly anymore.
We do have a car coming in right now that does not have any lights on.
Okay.
So I thought I might have overheard something that somebody was having some issues with something, but...
lighting would be a big issue, I'm sure, to have right now.
I don't even know if they had a light bar on the front of that car, but I'm not sure who that was.
Okay. I see another one with just headlights, so that's kind of rough, so maybe we can figure that out.
That right there, with the one with the headlights you're seeing to our right,
yes,
that is Chris Hunt. That just he's running in second position.
Okay.
That's who that is.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's definitely it's getting cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, we talked
getting dark.
Talked about some of the guys pushing really hard early and then kind of backing it off as the night persists, and talked about the shadows of the trees. And again, Ryan was even talking about some of the lips. So like you'd see water and you'd think it was just a little lip and you'd splash it real hard, or you slow way down thinking it's a big drop off and it's just a 2-inch puddle. He's like, so some of that stuff takes in big play.
Looks like Quentin. Is that Quentin taking back off?
Maybe they added some fluid and figured it out.
It is.
Well, he's a little bit behind. He's about 4 laps behind, but if you can get out there and hammer down, and again, some of the other guys, I think there were 7 guys on the course. So if you can get a couple of the faster guys that drop off, you might end up in the top 5. So
yes, you never know. I mean, it's a long,
and
10 laps.
You hate to drive this far and not get some racing in. So if they can get the car fixed, get it put back together. Say Quentin hopped out. It looked like they were done racing for the day, but maybe they were able to get it fixed. And hey, let's get some racing in.
I mean, it's literally 91.8 miles, but those 91.8 miles are very long. I mean, the lap is 9.18.
Yeah, especially racing at nighttime. That's quite a bit. Racing at night is a completely different animal than racing in daytime. Again, it's so cool to see some of the King of Hammers guys. They'll start racing in the daytime. Big bouncer guy or big car guys are definitely racing in the night.
Right.
Some wee hours of the morning. Oh, we got a tire change going on down there.
And that is on Tim Hooper. What is his number? 1545, I believe, is his number. No, 1505.
Oh, it looks like he's getting fuel as well.
You definitely, if you're in there getting a tire change,
might as well.
Why not?
Pop it off. Yep.
Take it, and then that's one less stop you have to do later on.
Yeah. And again, being 5 laps in, you're halfway through the race anyway. So if you're going to change a tire, you might as well go ahead and top off the fuel.
Somebody else is coming through also the timing loop. I didn't quite make it. Some of them are bypassing. That is the Kevin Taylor just came into the pit.
Okay.
So we have our top 5 right now are running. We have Chip McLaughlin, Chad Hunt, Zandy Willems, Tim Hooper, and Aaron Smith are our top 5 right now. Kevin Taylor just now, he just now came in. He's pitting right now.
Maurice is a lap down. Quentin is 3 laps down, but getting back out there. So, again, hopefully he can pick it up a little bit.
We're getting a suntan with these lights.
Yeah, we are.
I probably am sunburnt on this side of my face. The sun was on it all day long. No, the sun being out earlier definitely made it so nice.
Oh, my goodness. I was so thankful.
And I see up there by the VIP, they have some fire pits going.
Yeah, I was when I went up there to grab some lunch, I grabbed a hot dog and a Snickers bar, and I was definitely crowded around that fire while I was eating because it was so cold. That fire was so nice and warm. My hands were like kind of roasting over, but I didn't even mind. It was not too bad. So
I literally have on like 5 layers.
Yeah, I have quite a few on. I have a really nice MidAmerica off-road pullover on top underneath this. But I was like, we're going to wear as many layers as we can in the morning, and I just never took them off because it was so cold today. The wind picked up this afternoon. It looks like the wind's died down a little bit. But
Don't say the W word.
Yeah, the sun is going down, so we're definitely getting colder temps.
Yeah, I literally have on my Carhartt bib. I have on 2. I have a down vest on, a down jacket, my MidAmerica jacket, long sleeve shirt. It's pretty chilly.
There we go.
That's the number 40 of Liam Maurice.
Yep. Again, I had some Carhartt bibs at home, too, and I saw them and I'm like, I won't need those. It's 65 degrees.
Something I failed to bring was my mucks.
Au contraire. It's very cold.
They have that whole store up there.
Yeah, I'm sure they got something.
Some muck boots.
There's a couple guys said they went down the road and got some boots and some different rain gear because they weren't sure what the temperature was going to be like, and they were calling for snow, possibly rain.
Right.
So they're like, yeah, let's get it halfway set up. So
last year when we were at Rush, Kentucky, I didn't even think about it. Like I wasn't expecting to get in any race cars, but that's when I actually went out and I did a pre-run lap with Jamie McCoy, and they had frog togs.
Yep.
Because it was muddy.
Yep.
So they had an extra pair. So now I actually travel with them. I should have
thin,
brought them.
super light, but they're 100% waterproof. Super awesome. Love them.
But here, when you're racing, it's a little different story though, because you have a fire suit for a reason.
Yeah.
Having something on top of the fire suit might not be so good.
I said a couple guys messaged Clyde. They said, how many layers can we put on top of a fire suit for qualifying? They're like, it's a little cold, it's snowy. Can we put 2 layers on, 3 layers on? We were kind of laughing, because they're talking about, hey, we put some bibs and a Carhartt on over our fire suit. Like, is that okay?
Yes.
I said, well, the water. I'm sure once you get everything wet, I'm sure it's not going to burn very well. So I think you're probably covered there. But again, I said we're down to 7 racers, but I think Quentin's back in, so that put us back up at 8.
So 7 racers.
And Quentin
has not happened like this all day long. There are 7 racers all on the same lap.
Which is awesome. And again, we saw Quentin pull away. He might be going back out of the track, or he might be just heading up to the truck and trailer.
I don't know. He took off like he was getting back on a race course.
He did. So, again, he might be out there. We'll have to watch him, see if he comes blazing around through there. Or, okay, we did have to land the drones. That stinks. Again, they're not licensed to fly at night, so we can't have the drones up at nighttime, but we will have some cameras. That's Quentin right there.
So he is back out on race
out
course.
there racing. So
a little blurred vision there, but
I think he's the only orange and black car we have in the course today. Of course, once they get
look at his light colors in the front.
Once you get a 1/4 inch of mud on there, you can't really tell much of the cars. You kind of look at almost design, but Quentin's a good buddy of mine. He's a great guy. Like I said, he started at Ultra 4 Racing because he was like, I saw it on YouTube, but it looked cool. So I thought, I'm going to do that. Bought a car, jumped in, didn't know anything about it, was just super excited, got a truck and trailer, hauled it out there, and has a ball, have a good time doing it. And I got to meet him and really get to know him real well at the Unlimited Off-Road Expo in Texas a few years ago. They had a Dallas-Fort Worth area, had the Texas Motor Speedway. We got to go inside, do some cool stuff there, and got to meet him and hang out with him, and had a blast that weekend just goofing off with there. There was a couple Ultra 4 guys there, a couple bouncer guys, and had a blast. Super, super cool guy. Got to hang out with him, King Hammers, this year. So super neat. Raced Hammers and Ultra 4 series for a while, so I think you're going to see some more of him. Again, like I said, getting back in the car halfway through the race and said, hey, let's go out there and knock down some laps and get some racing in today. I mean, that's kind of what it's all about.
Right, right.
Your day doesn't always go according to plan, but being able to get out there and overcome that adversity is really what it's all about. So.
And it's seat time.
Yeah, and it's seat time. So huge shout out to Quentin and his crew for getting the car put back together. And
because they said it was a transmission. Wasn't it? Transmission was leaking.
Yeah, it said it was puking fluid out. Well, they said it quit pulling up the hill, and then when they got out, they saw fluid puking out. So I don't know if it got too hot. Maybe they had something blocking the filter,
I'm not sure.
Or the cooler. Maybe the cooler had a block in it. So,
but getting back out there, like you're saying, and just going out to
take it all
get some
apart,
laps in.
take it all apart, and blow it out, and then put it back together, and hopefully they can keep it going. But again, this is the kind of we're talking about. You can see the lights coming at us. It's kind of hard to. At Hammers, we were seeing cars just coming at us with lights. It was kind of hard to tell which car was which, but yeah, it's kind of hard to autofocus. That's Kevin Taylor there in the Porsche car.
Yeah, he has like a green tint to his lights.
Yeah,
and definitely a different look to his vehicle.
Yeah. It used to be a rock bouncer, and they converted it to an Ultra 4 car, and I started racing there 2-3 years ago at King of Hammers. Shelby St. Clair, I know a handful of guys from the bouncer community went out there and helped him pit and helped co-drive and just had a ball with it and obviously has been has done pretty well out there. I don't think they got a finish this year. They ended up breaking something, but has raced several times at King of Hammers. So being on this half of the U.S., it's a little closer to do some regional races. So
locals always good.
yeah. Locals. It beats when you're hauling all the way to California. A little less fuel tab there.
Yes.
So. Again, with diesel, the way it'd be, a little cheaper to haul it here to race, but it's a good time. Like I said, I think we got 4 or 5 guys right now on this lap.
And I don't think this would be Chip already coming in, but that kind of looked like his car, and sounds like his car.
It sounds like his car. See what's coming in.
Oh well, we'll know on the timing loop.
Yep. See if it'll pop back up again. Maybe I see it being worth the 6th lap now, so maybe he thinks fueling is a good issue.
I definitely would say, and he has a tremendous lead.
Yes, so he probably figured, hey, go ahead and check the car out, top it all off. It's cars are going to start slowing down now that it's pretty much dark outside.
Exactly.
So not a bad idea.
Yeah, if that is him over there, I mean. That had to make up for a quick lap. But he is doing, 16?
Yeah.
He's very consistent in his lap times. His first lap time, like I said earlier, nobody's first lap is going to be their fastest, and then he proves me wrong.
He comes out and smokes it.
But he's been very consistent in that, 16:20 mark. But definitely being very consistent. And that's, consistency in racing is a key.
Yeah.
Key factor. You don't want to go out and go all out. I mean, of course, he did the first lap.
First lap, yeah.
Now he's being very consistent, and as long as he can keep it that way, he's got a shot at this race for sure. And I would have to say, Visions last year, he was on the podium.
Yeah.
I'm not going to jinx him by any means, but it definitely, this seems like it's becoming a little favorite for him.
Again, it's fairly close to the Texas race, so it's not too bad.
But once we get the timing back up on screen, we'll know if that was for sure him or not, because lap times.
It's okay.
Getting that pulled up right now.
Taylor's back there doing 5 things all at once. So
16:20 that was his last lap time, 5th. No, so that wasn't him.
Okay.
Interesting.
We'll see what's going on. All his times after the first lap were between 16 and 16:20. So, like you said, extremely consistent today. Looks like he's got about a 2.5 minute lead right now on the guy next to him. So that's pretty handy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And again, if he can stretch that lead out to just, like I said, even keep it at a few minutes and just kind of ease through the course, set a quick time but not be crazy with it, just to kind of keep the pace. And again, like I said, now it's getting to be pretty dark outside. It's not quite pitch dark yet, but it's getting that be. And once you get into woods, a heavy woods section, it can be much, much darker out there. So
well, and like what Colin Truitt was saying about that one area that's super fast, but it's tight, and you're right in the middle of the trees. You definitely don't want to take any chances of getting a tire wrapped around, not a tire wrapped around you, wrap your whole car around the tree. But
you could, and it usually starts with hooking a tire, and then the next thing you're sideways trying to get unstuck, and you're strapped in, can't see. And
I have to tell you, I've done that before, but not in a race car.
Yeah.
So I mountain bike back home. There's a trail that's all going through the woods, and on my handlebars, my grips have a little, handle area for my hands to stay on really good. I got one wrapped on a tree one time when I was going downhill, and it, took the handlebars. took me down.
Immediately turned your wheel.
It's the same thing that would happen if one of these car tires got hooked.
Especially
on a
running,
tree.
Run 60, 80 mile an hour. It's immediately going to hook you.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it.
Going 19, 20 miles per hour on the mountain bike and hooking it, felt like I was going 60, 70 miles per hour.
Yeah, again, like I said, you have a big oak tree there. Something gets hooked on it. It's absolutely going to make a change real quick. So.
Yep, words out of JT's mouth, but those trees are not moving.
They're
hardwoods.
I said, it looks like our winds died down. I was trying to look at our flags up there. We got some G-Force Gates flags.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, it looks like the winds died down a little bit. It doesn't feel as cold as it did earlier, so I'm hoping our wind has just died down.
We'll quit saying the W word, and it will.
Yeah. Again, it's 6:44 here, so again, I say, just kick off around 4, but it ended up being about 4:30. So we've been at it about an hour and 15 minutes roughly. So
actually, when we have that time up, it tells us the time lapse so far. But we definitely have, some sponsors to thank that help out the park, help out MidAmerica. We have Nitto, Ultimax. Ultimax is a belt company for UTVs. Ford, Rigid, Maxxis, and Raceline Wheels. So those are people that we want to make sure we thank for, being a part of the MidAmerica program.
Yep.
And there goes, that was Chad Hunt, I believe.
So I think that might have been.
What's that?
I think that might have been.
Okay, so here, now it's updated up there on the live timing. So that was Chip McLaughlin that came in.
I was thinking that.
So, but now look at the time split. 4 minutes and what was that, 28 seconds?
Yeah, it was like 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes earlier.
So he's got almost a 5-minute lead. So it's 4.5 minute lead on the second place. Chip McLaughlin does.
So
he's running away with this right now.
Yeah, and like I said, he could really. And again, that's what Ryan was talking about. How he probably is going to push it real hard for those first 5 or 6 laps, and then once it gets dark, start backing it off a little bit, just to play it smart, be safe.
That would be well. We'll know by his times when he comes in if he actually does do that. Because once you get into a good pace for that many laps, even though the sun is sitting down.
16:37, so he had slowed down 17 seconds. 17 seconds from his last run.
Okay.
Which 17 seconds is not a whole lot. Like you would think it'd be like 30 seconds, but 17 seconds isn't much.
I can see in the distance another set of headlights, and it might be Zandy Willems coming through here just momentarily.
Again, there's our production trailer with us on the right, and then you can see the big screen on the left there. Keeping the right at the edge of Thunder Alley. You can see the big screens they have set up on the right and left of the big infield here. So pretty awesome to see. And then we have a couple of VP trailers up there.
See the headlights. I believe this is Zandy Willems, and it sounds like Zandy as well.
The motors are usually screaming through.
Yes, that is definitely Zandy. So right now, Rufus Racing 1 and 3 unofficially.
See if we can't get Zandy's time up there. Should update here in a second.
Yes, it just updated, so he's on his...
It means 1 minute and 40 behind second place, so I don't think with only 4 laps to go he can push it hard enough to catch up to second, but the good news is he's sitting really comfortable in third right now. So
well, it's a long race.
It is, but anytime you can end up with a podium finish, that's not a bad weekend.
Right.
So huge shout out to Zandy. Like I said, he's pushing hard.
So we have 3 cars that are only have 4 laps left, so which is Chip McLaughlin in the number 1 spot, Chad Hunt number 2, Zandy Willems in that 3rd position. Tim Hooper should be coming in here shortly because he's not too far behind Zandy. He was in pit earlier fueling and doing, I think, a tire change is what they were doing. And then we have Aaron Smith in that 5th position. So that's we should have Tim Hooper and Aaron Smith coming through here shortly.
Again, being they had to take that tire change, that's going to add a few minutes on there. So he might go from a 16. It looks like a 17 and some change with his last time.
Mm-hmm.
So he might be up to, say, a 20 minutes for that first round just because that tire change does take a little longer.
Yeah, because when he pulled in, I was watching. When he pulled in, it's like he went too far. So he had to actually back up to his pit spot. So, that takes away a few seconds. And then the tire change looked like it wasn't like NASCAR style quick,
Yeah. And again, they went ahead and topped off the fuel. At that point, he had 5 laps in. So if you're halfway through the course, you might as well go ahead and top it off. Just be safe, be smart.
And if you're stopped for something else, do it. Because why make an extra stop just for fuel? It's just smart teamwork.
Yeah, you're at
pit strategy.
At that point, you're halfway through the race. Go ahead and top it off. Again, that way you don't have to stop for fuel at least anyway. So
exactly. It's pit strategy is a big deal in all racing teams and associations, or not associations, but on all race teams. But the thing about it is, like, you have a pit strategy, but you also have to have, plan B, because flat tires or whatever. So you have to have, backup plans as well. So
and that pit strategy comes into play a lot. And like I said, we had talked to several guys about their pit strategy, and what Terry's talking about how we try to get to later on in case they did get a flat early on. That way they only have to stop once. So that's pretty huge. Looks like Taylor and Maurice are both also setting around an 18-second pace. So it looks like this should be a fairly tight race as of right now. Again, we know we have a few laps to go, and they'll be at nighttime. So those nighttime laps can play a little havoc. So, but it looks like everybody's running pretty competitive right now, anywhere from 16 to 18 minutes per lap. So, not bad time. Again, like I said, we'll see. I don't think we'll see anybody get lapped here since we only have 4 laps to go.
Let's see here. I'm trying to think. In my head, I'm so cold, my brain's not working right. So what is that? So 16-minute laps, and there's 4 left. That's about a little over an hour?
A little over an hour and 4 minutes, roughly. Again, like I said, I think we're going to see that 16 time back off to probably closer to a 17, just because of the, again, like I said, we're almost down to the pitch dark area, so you can't really see at nighttime. Yes, I know a lot of these guys run some of the best lights out there, and they have a very, very well-lit race car. Lots of off-road companies out there make great products, so it does help. But, you can't outrun your lights, and there's a lot of trees in these wood courses. So, you know that, hey, you're pushing that hard. You're sitting in a great spot. The last thing you want to do is cut a corner too sharp and tag a tree and break a hub, and now you're out of the racing for the day. So.
And, after this race is over, what's really cool is Jason has put together a driver appreciation dinner tonight.
Awesome.
So we're all going to be going over to the shop after this, and there's going to be, everybody can sit and talk about their race day, and there's Tim Hooper just came through.
The fuel works.
But if you're, in your pit and you don't remember, just remember there's a driver appreciation show up to the shop after the race tonight, and Jason wanted to make sure we let everybody know that and remind everybody. So that's another bonus that he's doing tonight for the drivers.
Awesome.
I mean, look at what they're going through today. We've all been working hard. They've been out there racing hard. So it's awesome to have, that extra little bonus at the end of a race day.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting word. We're going to cut over to commercial real quick, and then we'll come back and talk about our leaderboard and wrap up that 4th lap for you guys.
upgrading. It's what we do. So upgrading is what we did. Introducing the IQ equipment lineup powered by HMF. Designed for the most adventurous side-by-sides in the world, IQ equipment has the strength to tackle the off-road head-on. Bolt-on American-manufactured steel, engineered to increase strength, durability, and protection, so you're equipped to handle the most extreme performance. When you're ripping through the desert at full throttle, or tearing through some of the most brutal terrain in the world, you're going to need equipment that keeps you moving at a high level. Because when you have the performance and you have the protection, you then have the confidence to actively pursue your passions just as freedom was intended to be. HMF, equipped to perform.
We just couldn't get longer life out of our belts. That's why we were so excited when we found these new Gates Redline belts. They have a super simple 3-step process for breaking in your belt the right way. Clean the sheaths with a Scotch-Brite pad. Remove any old belt residue, glazing, oil, or debris on the clutch sheath area with alcohol or acetone, and make sure the breather tubes are free of any old belt material. Step 2, install your new Gates Redline belt. Step 3, perform 2 10 to 15 minute heat cycles, giving it easy throttle on flat ground. Then, you're going to repeat for the second heat cycle.
The best part, the process is so simple and easy, it really helped us with our competitiveness.
Yep.
Your usual, sir?
Please. The sound of a 1000cc turbo engine cranking at 8,000 RPMs just got better. HMF, the official sound of the off-road. Ready for any challenge. Maxxis tires can handle even the most punishing off-road conditions. Maxxis tires. Tread victoriously.
All right, we are back. We've had about half of the field finish their lap, and Chip literally just came through. I think 4th and 5th place were battling pretty hard. There was only about 10 seconds between them, so it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. I know we had a couple guys in there battling pretty hard. Chip just came through. That's his 8th lap, I believe.
He just completed his 7th lap. He's on his 8th now.
8th lap, so we got a few laps to go. Again, like I said, it's 7 o'clock now, so we're hopefully about 30 minutes from the end of the race. Again, we're checker flag, so we'll see how it goes. We had some questions on the live feed.
We did. So you guys can answer these. First of all, let's do one really quick. There is Corey Nasso is asking if there's any updates on Levi. And Joey, you have some updates for us, correct?
Yeah, so Levi, you know, he come off the line. He was our pole setter for the day. He come off the line hard, but Ryan Rockhold come around him. So when they were coming out of the short course, they started up the knockout hill, and Ryan and Levi were making some contact. I think Levi chose to pull back and let Ryan kind of get out there. So as he come through in front of the bounty course, everything looked good and was fine. But when he made that turn and he was going to go into the woods, his car just shut down, and he actually just shot down in the woods,
oh, wow,
down into the bottoms of the trail there, Tripp went over there earlier and pulled him out and pulled him back, and Levi said, the car actually seems fine, but I believe his CDI ignition or something to do with his fuel injection wouldn't fire the car.
Okay.
So he's been out ever since the beginning of the race.
Okay, so it was like it was trying to fire, but it wouldn't fire.
Yes.
Okay, I know that there was an issue.
Yeah.
I actually went out with Tom Ways at King of the Hammers, and I was
Did y'all kill any bears?
No, we didn't kill any bears, but we weren't actually pre-running. He was just actually showing me the rock trails. And he had a similar situation that happened when we were out.
yeah.
And thank goodness that happened when he was just out
Yeah.
trail running.
Fuel
because
pumps were a huge thing last year. There's tons of guys that had fuel pump issues. So obviously we saw a lot less of that this year. 20 or 30 races got knocked out last year to fuel pump. We've even seen guys double up on fuel pumps coming out. So
yeah, well, with Tom, it was in the computer behind the seat. But we also have we have a question from Jeff Sligers. He's wanting to know, how far can a 4400 go on fuel?
So that is a tricky question. These cars range anywhere probably on the low side to 500 to 600 horsepower up to well over 1,000. Different configurations. You may have some that may have a smaller 30, 40-gallon fuel cell, and some of those guys may be much larger than that.
we had some guys up here earlier, 60-gallon fuel cells.
Yeah, 60-gallon fuel cell. So a 60-gallon fuel cell on a 750 horsepower mild-built car that's running on something like C16 that may be a higher fuel. There's so many variables. I would say that I wouldn't count on much more than 4 to 5 miles per gallon for any of these cars.
Some of the high horsepower cars said they were getting anywhere from 1.4 to 2 miles a gallon. I know obviously your 600, 800 range, you're probably getting 4 to 5. So again, there's so many variables, and that's why we talked to a couple of racers about pit strategy comes into play so big in a race this long. Because you have to figure, okay, how far can I go? We've seen a couple guys have to run back and forth with fuel because they didn't quite get it right. They're trying to be down to the nose because you don't want to carry a bunch of extra weight with you.
Right.
But at the same time, you also want to make sure you get in here and make that pit. So
100%. You try to make those calculations, but you can't predict how hard you're going to drive. You think you know how hard you're going to drive, but you get out there and the course is faster, so now you're running harder. So now your whole pit plan's got to change. You got to radio that in, or maybe you got to get more fuel. So it's definitely one of those things. Most of these guys would err on the side of caution of over-preparing. I think most of these guys here were prepared to do pit stops twice, but I will tell you what it looked like is these guys all pitted on lap 5 or at the end of 5, start of 6.
Yep.
So they kind of told themselves, hey, I made it this far in the race with a full with half with a full tank. So if I get fuel one time, I can go the distance, and I think that was everybody's strategy.
Right, and we saw Tim Hooper. He was in the pits earlier doing a tire change, and they were fueling. So that's where, like, we were talking about pit strategy. It's like if you're already in the pits, but you weren't going to actually pit for a couple more laps, still go ahead and just get that done right then and there because then that's one less stop.
Zandy coming through there. He was sitting in 3rd place earlier, so I think he's still securing his 3rd place lead. He had about a 2-minute difference between the guy in front of him and him, so I don't think he has quite enough pace to pick up that 2nd spot, but again, still going to hopefully end up with a podium finish today.
So, Chad Hunt, he's been holding that number 2 spot all day. He's a fast racer. He don't make a whole lot of mistakes. I don't look for him to make any mistakes through the rest of this race, this deep into it, being on their that should be the starts of their 8th lap, I'm assuming now. And, man, I'm here to tell you this has been a pretty consistent race. All these guys are kind of just racing their pace, hoping something happens to somebody else, not nothing bad, just saying that maybe they can make a position because they're just more worried about making a mistake themselves. Keeping their pace is more important than trying to run that guy down right now.
And again, we've seen every once in a while leaderboard pop there. Between all 7 racers that are on the track right now are between 16 and 18-minute lap times. So it's a pretty tight window from everybody. So
it is.
I think we're seeing really consistent times. Guys try to push it really hard when it was light outside. Now that it's dark, they're trying to be a little more conservative, a little bit smarter. And again, I haven't really seen you guys make mistakes yet. So
well, and you look at Chip. He had a 4.5-minute lead. On Chad Hunt.
So, I mean.
So it's like, back it down, take it easy. Like, it got dark. But he was running a very consistent, 16-20 lap every single time.
Almost on the dot.
Up until it got dark.
And again, Ryan kind of mentioned that. Ryan Rockhold was up here and said that,
Okay, we're going to get to go through the leaderboard here. So
there we go.
Oh, look at that. So Zandy Williams, they have him up there in 2nd position now. So Chip McLaughlin, Zandy Williams, Chad Hunt, Tim Hooper, and then Liam Maurice.
All right, so as we were talking about that, something did happen between Chad and Zandy, so I ate my words right there.
No, and again, like I said, we'll see that last 2 or 3 laps in the dark. With their lights on, those trees kind of play tricks on you. You think you have a little more room than you do, or you start slowing down a little early because you don't think you have enough room, and so that lighting can kind of play a trick on you. So I think the last couple laps may change our leaderboard around a little bit.
Well, and then if you look up there is a 4-minute and 49-second time split between Chip McLaughlin and Zandy Willems, teammates of Rufus Racing.
Which is awesome to see those guys in 1 and 2 spot. I know, that's kind of a big gap, but it's super cool to see that. And again, hopefully they're radioing Chip and saying, hey, listen, you have a 4-minute gap. Take your time. Be smart. Hey, race safe. Don't make any mistakes. You only got 3 laps remaining, so don't waste anything. So be smart about it. Like I said, we got about a half hour left, depending on, again, track time. So, but it looks like even with the dark, we're still right around that 16 to 18-minute range.
Okay, so David is wanting to know where his brother Quentin is. So David.
Back on track. We just saw him right as we were ending our commercial. He came flying through. So he's back on track, making some laps. Again, he's about 4 or 5 laps down, I think, from everybody else.
But he was having a transmission issue, is what it was going on. So he had some transmission problems, but they had him in the pits for quite a while. But he's back out on course.
4 laps down is where he's at. But, again, coming out, still finishing 8th place. Would be kind of great. Like I said, it's not a points race. This isn't an official Ultra 4 race, not a points race. This is the 918 Grand Prix. So getting out, getting some feel for the car, checking out the park. I think a lot of guys wanted to just come check out the park. They're like, hey, let's just check it out. This will be a good excuse,
Well, they just want to go racing.
Yeah.
They just weren't expecting snow.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool to see the guys get out here and do some racing, check out the park, and see some of the amenities, and kind of get to meet everybody, see the lay of the land. It's always nice to get your first time there, get the lay of the land, figure out, okay, where we're going to park at, where's the best place to go eat, do they have a Walmart close, that's kind of, if we break something, there's an O'Reilly Auto Parts in town, so that's handy. You can run inside, get some stuff, which I know there's some guys heading in there to get pulleys for the front of the engine, so it's kind of neat, but and again, you'd much rather do that before a big serious race that's for points, so it's always kind of handy to have that, but
you can hear that
that's supposed to be
Zandy
Chip.
Willems.
Yeah. That's a Zandy or a Chip car. They were screaming out here in qualifying the other day. Again, qualified 2nd and 4th, I think. So
I think we all can just agree that Chip needs to slow down and wait on Zandy.
I'm not positive,
let's
but
battle this out.
Does Chip have yellow lights on his car?
I'm not sure.
Okay, because there's a car getting ready to come in, and I'm not positive, but it looks like his top light bar.
Might be.
I just don't know if he has yellow lights on the bottom light bar.
We'll find out.
We'll find out here momentarily because he's very, very close.
Yeah, it's again, like I said, there's some of the being at King of Hammers. There's sometimes you have a shot going down a long rock quarry, and it's kind of hard. You can we see headlights, so they'll be here in a little while.
There's a lot of people on social media right now cheering for them, and yes, that is Mr. No, that's Tim Hooper.
Yep.
So he has a yellow light bar.
Yeah.
So Tim Hooper in the Fuel Works car, been Mr. Consistent all day today.
Has done very well.
Has done very well.
He was in the pits earlier, like we said, just a little bit when they had to do the tire change and went ahead and fueled up.
Went ahead and topped off, which is smart. You might as well go ahead and top off fuel while you're there.
Angela Morris, she is rooting on Rufus Racing. Of course, she is Zandy Willems' other half. So a lot of people on here rooting for Rufus Racing. I was talking about last year at Visions, Zandy and Chip both were on the podium. So they're kind of trying to own this track here.
Man, they had a big weekend out here at Visions, and somebody from Rufus Racing, I believe, won Anthony Yount's giveaway, that raffle that he was doing to help out. And, man, I'm telling you, great group of guys. If you don't know them, get to know them, support them. They've been out there. They're always a ball of fun and just great to be around.
Yeah, they are definitely a lot of fun. When I actually was, I flew in last year for the Nationals in Oklahoma, and I actually went and I visited their shop and got to talk with them and stuff. And
they're super cool guys.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that whole entire group of people. The wives, the crew members, everybody. They're just so welcoming.
Yeah.
I mean, every team is welcoming. I haven't had one team that hasn't been welcoming into their pits or whatever, but it's definitely a whole nother.
Yeah.
Brad Christensen. Patrick Kelly just told me Brad Christensen won the giveaway.
That's awesome.
There you go.
I love it that people chime in and let us know some information that we're not sure exactly who wins or who they're rooting for. And Doug Jackson. Go Chip and Zandy.
So Doug, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to call you out. I like my idea. Let Chip pull up here and wait on Zandy, and let's race this last lap nose to nose and see who wins this thing.
He has slowed down. Chip's last lap was an 18:07, so that's almost 2 minutes slower than he used to. So they must have got on the radio and said, hey, listen, you have a 4-minute head lead. Slow down, take your time, have a good time, have fun,
you guys,
and just be smart.
Wait. You guys have seen that movie, Ford versus Ferrari,
I
right?
know,
yeah,
I know.
Let's do it. Let's slow down. Chip, if you could hear me on the radio somewhere, slow down. We want to see the most epic finish here at the 918 Grand Prix.
Angela's agreeing with you. She's saying yes.
He's still 4 minutes and 49 seconds ahead of Zandy, even with an 18-minute course. So,
oh, my goodness.
Almost 5 minutes ahead of Zandy. So, and then Zandy's almost 5 minutes ahead of Hooper. So, again, we're sitting pretty comfortable, being that we only got 3 laps to go. So,
Doug Jackson said, it ain't happening.
Yeah, I think
that's awesome.
Chip's pretty good about putting it down. I think he might be a little smart, be conservative. Again, like I said, he's been in the lead before and had issues and dropped down. So hopefully he can just be smart, be conservative, and get out there and end up on the podium. Like I said, that number 1 spot's kind of handy. Take home some money, especially for him and Zandy both. Being on first and second of the podium. That's not a bad payday to have. And again, Chip's got to be up there as far as that fastest lap.
He is the fast lap right now at
the 4400
with a 15:44, I believe. He's holding it for all the big car classes, so he's already a $2,500 winner unless something crazy happens. And you never know, somebody might say, "Hey, I can't win this race. I'm about to lay something crazy down." So, Chip may not want to take that to the bank yet. There's still a few laps left.
That's awesome.
Yes, it's pretty awesome. Like I said, all the times overall are still between 16, 18 minutes, right around that same time.
Yeah, it's very, very consistent, though. I like, consistency is key in racing. You keep it consistent. And they always say slow is fast. Yeah. Right? I mean, or smooth is fast, not slow. Smooth is fast.
Yeah, slow is not fast. That math doesn't add up.
I've been out here in the cold all day, just like you. But no, it's definitely smoother is faster, and it definitely is true. So like Chip's probably out there running this smooth. I know he went out there pre-running multiple times, so he's got that course down. So
and he's raced here before too, so that helps,
Right, exactly. But this is a different course too, right?
Yeah. So, so the short course section is pretty similar. Again, the short course area is a lot of fun, and everybody up here that has been racing said how much fun the course has been today. Every driver would say, "Man, we had a lot of fun today." It was just so great to hear. Every driver could say, "Man, it was so much fun. We got to go." Everybody's talked about the barn. They got to go through a barn. He said, 2 or 3 guys said, "I've never raced through a barn." So
Kevin Taylor. 911. He's knockout racing. Those guys have been battling all day. He's hit a couple pits. Nothing too major, I think, going on. Run a good, smooth, consistent race. So he's hanging in there. Should still be hanging in the top 5, isn't he?
I think he's 7th right now.
I think he's number 5. So looking right there on that.
Yeah, he is number 5.
Yep. Looks like Tim Hooper's moved to 3rd. Liam Maurice at number 4. Kevin Taylor, number 5. So something's going on with Chad Hunt.
Yeah, he's been knocked down.
That was Smith Racing right there, I believe. So
looks like he'll bump up to 6th place now.
Yep. Those guys have been trading back and forth. So I don't know where Smith dropped back, but Smith was up a little further at one point too. Yeah. But those positions 3, 4, 5, and 6, and even 7. Those positions are changing lap to lap right now, and you just saw them come through here back to back to back. Yeah. There's still plenty of racing to go in that crowd.
And then when you're racing in the dark like this, you're racing those lights.
Oh yeah,
you're chasing those lights. You're trying to chase them down for sure.
Again, from 4th to 5th, 30-second difference, and from 5th to 6th, 30-second difference.
Oh, wow.
So that's a pretty tight group considering these guys are running about 16 to 18-minute laps. To have a minute between 2 spots is, I think you might see some guy. Again, you see the nice part, you see the headlights going through. Hey, I might be able to catch that guy. I'll push a little harder.
Exactly. That's when you're chasing the lights.
Oh, yeah. So it'll
without
be
a doubt, chases the race. It's a lot more fun to run somebody down than to be the guy trying to set the pace to get away.
To be the dog in the front with your tongue wagging out, just trying to push the car as hard as you can, try not to get caught,
Right. So we have quite the crowd on our social media right now that is all cheering on the Rufus Racing. We have Angela Morris is watching with us still. Lori Christensen, I believe that is Brad's wife. So, and then we have Nikita watching as well. They're all cheering on everybody on that Rufus Racing team.
Well, you know, somebody I saw ask if this was going to be one of their first wins. I don't know if this is Chip's first actual win. He's been on the podium plenty of times, I believe, but y'all can answer that better than I could.
You know, I'm not positive, but it's definitely, if he is, this is his first 918 Grand Prix
yeah, definitely.
presented by MidAmerica. That will be his first win right there.
So we've got to finish this thing out. Just a few more laps. He should be coming in any second to start his 9th lap.
Yes, and he should be.
I can hear him, I think.
I can see the tail lights.
Yeah, there's noises all around us, these big bad engines roaring, but Chip's been coming through here pretty hot, so I'm excited to see how he lays down these last couple laps, especially knowing that Zandy is the next person in line with him.
Right.
I say that might make him push it harder, though.
Oh, here he comes.
Sounds like he's coming. You hear him roaring up.
Yeah, I knew I could hear him. He's definitely running a little more conservative coming over that jump, which is the smart thing to do. It's the right thing to do.
He has backed it down, but by the sound, it doesn't sound like he's backed it down too much.
That time he ran a 17:08, so
he picked it back up a little bit.
Yeah, he picked it back up a little bit. Again, a little bit slower than those 16 laps he was running, but again, just pushed on it still pretty hard.
You got to see right there. So Zandy's running more in the mid-16, so here's a 4.5, 5-minute gap.
Yeah.
He's got only a few laps. He'd have to be shaving a minute and a half off of Chip every time. I don't know if that is possible if Chip keeps the pace he's at. So anything could happen. Chip could run out of fuel or, heaven forbid, something bad happens. So Zandy's racing hard. He's not going to give up his race for first, but he is definitely maintaining second. That looked like Chad Hunt.
That was Chad Hunt.
Yeah.
So Chad Hunt just got back in this race, clicked over and started his 8th lap, so we'll see what's going on with Chad.
He didn't stop in the pit, so it's not like he had a flat tire or something.
He may already had to change it.
Yeah, I said I'm not sure what happened there. Again, like I said, we'll hopefully we'll get a cool after story, see what happened.
So it will be Chip's first win. So we got a lot of people out there really rooting for Chip, and what better way to do it than with your teammate going to be right there with you in second.
Edie, she's cheering him on. Miss all you guys here, all the ladies. Love seeing all their beautiful faces.
Well, man, I can tell you, I'm sure Chip's smiling from ear to ear, having a good race today, and I don't want to jinx him. I'm going to quit talking about him a little bit because I just want him to go finish it out.
Again, let's talk about Quentin. Coming in, have a transmission issue, being in the pit for about 3 or 4 laps, getting to be able to put it back together, hop back out there, and now has made a couple laps. So huge shout-out to Quentin with that Flying Q Motorsports team to come out there and get the car back together and say, hey, you know what, let's get some racing in. So
that's determination.
It is. It is. So it's super awesome to see those guys. Look how close they are. They're 50 feet apart probably right now, chasing each other through the woods right next to us.
And for them to be on the same lap in this same area of the course this close together after 2 hours of racing speaks testaments to how hard these guys are racing. It's really tight in those 3, 4, 5, and 6 spots. It's not just miles between these guys. It's a few feet.
Yeah.
And again, when you're that close, you almost want to kind of get up and push the guy, make him run as hard as he can to see if he'll make a mistake, and then hopefully capitalize on it, But
yes, or you keep your distance back because they know that you're behind them, and so they're like pushing themselves. So you might set back and wait for them to make that mistake.
Yeah, being 20 feet apart, and then again 3, 5 seconds later, here comes another one. So we have that, like I said, that 4, 5, 6 spot are all really, really tight. And I think it's like that red cape to a bull. When you see those headlights in front of you, you're like, that's really close. If I push a little harder, hopefully I can pick that guy up. So again, they were coming through at 20 feet apart here. So
here's something you got to remember. A lot of times in Ultra 4 racing and when we used to run in Pro Rock, it's a corrected time race, and sometimes we would stagger those starts. There was no staggered start here today. When that fireball went off, everybody's time started. So unlike trying to predict, I can just stay close and I'll still outrun him. No, that don't exist here. You have to physically pass him to beat him in this race. So that puts a little different element, and we don't always race that way. But the beauty is we can race different places and do different things. But here today, if you want to physically beat someone, you have to physically beat first
them,
of them.
Right. And so this next lap around, when Chip comes around, as long as he's still in that number 1 position, he'll be getting that white flag as well.
Which is awesome.
He sure will.
Yes. It's going to be super exciting to see how this ends up, because it's still, even though there's 2 laps left, it's still a long race.
Yes, it's still a long race. I mean, we're still talking about another 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll say, it's 7:19, so we still got 20, 30 minutes left, depending on again, that will be our first car in, so then it'll take another 15, 20 minutes to get all the cars in. But the good news is it sounds like all the cars are still screaming through at a pretty good clip.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I don't think there's been no great losses out here, not a bunch of damage. I know Rockhold, he lost some gears, some things like that, but don't sound like nothing crazy happened.
Yeah, ring and pinion is pretty easy and pretty cheap to fix. He goes, all right, I have one of the trailers, no big deal. I'm like, you just hate to see it. You hate to see him break in the race. So.
Yep, for sure.
We're going to see somebody coming through here shortly.
Should be Zandy. Well, I guess it could be Quentin Hilburn. Either one of those guys are expected in at any moment.
This will be Mr. Zandy.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Again, he's pushing hard.
He picked it up.
He did. He landed about halfway through that jump. So
Let's see his time.
You can tell how hard those guys are pushing. So we'll see.
Yeah, he definitely just picked that
launch
up.
through there.
So he shaved a few seconds off. He's down about 4.5 minutes now.
16:50.
Yeah, so he's pushing hard. He's trying to catch up. Again, still 4.5 minutes behind. I don't know if he can do that in 2 laps. It's like I said.
Chip would have to really let up, and he's not going to do that.
Yeah, oh no, especially not to Zandy. If he's got to beat someone, he's like, I got to be at least Zandy. It's kind of that brother rivalry we saw earlier today in the EMC class. So those guys were battling hard. Trying to both get on the podium. And again, like I said, it's super cool to see how that shakes out. One brother's ended up running for fuel, trying to get the fuel in so that way he can still stay in the 2nd spot versus the 3rd spot if he gets past. So it was kind of cool to see that all trickle out. But
yeah, and we had the brothers earlier. Gotta go back to my papers here.
Connor Fultz and Trevor Fultz.
Yeah, Trevor. Did you hear Trevor say he had rolled over here in this turn?
Yeah, so my guys actually are down there. Aaron and Brett are set up down over there to make sure everybody went up the hill, and they actually had to winch him back over. And, which course can assist.
Right.
They assisted him back over, and he was able to keep going and made it back over here. But, yeah, he did roll over just at the big hill climbs down here.
And we were talking about it earlier. I mean, even though he rolled and got rolled back over, he was still up there. So your recovery crew had to be amazing and get that done quick.
Well, JT Taylor, he knows where to put people.
Right.
He knows where there's going to be problematic areas. He chose the rig, and he chose some people that have some experience. Those guys were very quick to get them over, and his safety plan went as planned, and
which is good.
How it works.
Yeah, and again, like I said, anytime there's a bit of it can be considered a safety issue. The track officials can hop in there, and obviously we were glad for that today. Keep everybody safe. Again, like I said, we only got a few laps left of this 4,400 unlimited course today, so. I'm sure the Rufus Racing team is going to be pretty happy.
So earlier, too, Mick Henson in the Toyota, do you know what happened? Because he had to get forklift out over here.
No, I did see that happening. I was over there interviewing and talking to some other people.
That's flying Q there, coming through there. Again, I think that puts him at like 5. He was 5 laps down, so now he's 4 laps down. So, again, hopefully he can get bumped up there a little bit.
But Mick, as far as Mick goes, I hate to see him towed off because, man, I love that Toyota. He drives the fire out of it. And, I can assure you, he'll be back.
Yes.
He don't quit.
It makes me want to go get something like that.
Yeah, the stock class is a lot of fun. Like I said, again, talking to some of the guys that race the stock class 4,600 class, it's a lot of fun. It's still the same kind of competitive edge you get, and a little more cost effective. You're bumping up to a big car, but at the same time there are a lot of limitations. 35-inch DOT tires, so that's probably your biggest one. Just at King of Hammers, there's so many big rocks.
Right.
It's just some of these wet hills stay with the sand and the snow. So getting out there, getting it slick, I'm sure that played a role in it as well.
And all the water crossings, all the creeks that they have to go through. I mean, that just makes everything super slippery.
Yeah. I see that.
Mick Henson broke a transfer case. Thank you, Jason Welch, for giving that information to us.
I knew it had to be something serious, or he wouldn't have stopped.
Such a bummer.
Yeah. We weren't sure if he just got stuck or there was some issue. Like I said, we saw him, grab the excavator there and pull him out of the way. So Tyler was in the Ford Bronco. Do we know what happened to him?
I think Tyler went out earlier in the race, too. I didn't get a read on what happened to him, but, Tyler takes that Bronco all over the country and has a lot of fun with it, too.
I say we saw him in the first lap, and I don't think we saw him after that.
I don't recall seeing him after the start.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he came through after the first lap, but maybe not. He might not have made it that far.
I'm not sure.
Again, like I said, that's always on Levi's car. Didn't even make it through the first lap. So, I mean, it doesn't, a $3 bolt can end your day. So it's
that's so horrible.
It does. It stinks. So, but.
Watching Go Taylor. Barbara Taylor saying Go Taylor.
There you go. So I think this Quentin Hilburn, I believe he's from Florida. Is that correct? He came up from Florida.
Maybe.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Well, I think he was a little shell-shocked between the temperature change, if that's the case. It's spring break in Florida, and it is winter wonderland here.
For sure. He saw a YouTube video and thought, that's kind of cool. And so he bought an Ultra 4 car and went and raced King of Hammers like 2 years ago. And that's how he got involved in the sport, which is just so cool to see somebody go, hey, looks cool. Let's go do it. Did it. Did pretty well. Again, learned a lot. Obviously, your very first race in a car being King of Hammers, you learn that's like throwing a guy in the deep end. You learn a lot very quick. And then came back, did some series racing last year, and then came to King of Hammers this year and had just a ball. Did a great job with it. So
learning to swim with the sharks right there.
It is. So it was pretty cool to see. And again, like I said, it's so neat to see guys just go, hey, that looks cool. I want to try it. Hop in the sport.
So Jason Welch has some more information. He said the Ford Bronco throwing belts and no brakes.
Oh man,
you know these water crossings don't make it easy on some of those setups, and it'll make you slip a belt off in a hurry. And of course, it's going to kill your brakes, especially if you're in the stock class having to retain factory brake issues, and there's drum brakes in some of those systems. So I can see where brakes went out really fast, and that makes a dangerous situation. So kudos to him for making the right call. And let's call that thing off, and we'll
no
fight
brakes,
another
all
day.
These hills might be an issue.
And you're right. David Hilburn just said that he's just moving down to Florida from Arkansas.
Okay, that's what I thought. Somebody told me that he's already in Florida, so he drove back to be here from Florida this weekend, and then he's going to be going back down, and I'm sure he'll make whatever necessary repairs after this race and be ready to run again.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of belts, we saw a lot of belts in the side-by-side Class A. Some guys had broke them. Some guys had slip-in belt issues. We've seen a couple guys have discussion in the pit about should we change the belt or should we kind of hopefully keep this belt to hold together for another couple laps. So he ended up taking off, so they thought, well, we'll see how it goes.
I think that was Todd Rimreed.
Maybe.
That did that.
He did two belts. He changed two belts during the race. And he was still able to come out top of his class. I believe he got second place. And,
Heck yeah.
He had some luck with that. But, Ultimax is here on site this weekend. And one thing I can tell you about Ultimax is they're part of a big group of companies that own Ultimax, and they really are serious about their products and their programs. And talking with a customer, and they're like, "Yeah, I bought one of them Ultimax belts," and he said, I told him, I was like, man, I don't think anything happened to the belt. Maybe I was too rough on it. And you know what they told him? They said, that's fine. That means we want your belt even more because we want to take it. We want to test it. We want to learn about it. We want to make it better.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We're going to give you the warranty belt. Don't you worry about it, brother. Here's your warranty belt. Send us that thing. This is how we get better, and this is how we take care of our customers. So that just speaks volumes to Ultimax and some of these companies that are supporting us on how they actually you can buy with a clear conscience, knowing, hey, these guys are serious about their product, and I'm buying a top product, and they're going to take care of me.
So Ultimax, because I was new to that company, are they strictly just belts, or do they have other products as well for side-by-sides?
I think their focus is belts.
Okay.
They have different other companies that they are part of that do some other things, but I think their focus is the belts. I'm still learning about this company. They started last year here at the park, and they are a company that's newer to me, but I'll tell you, I'm going to change all my stuff over to Ultimax, not only because of they're a sponsor and those things, but what I just heard speaks volumes about their product and how they operate their company, and I want to support that.
Yeah, you always want to support a company, number one, that supports your habits and the series and everything, but you also want to support a company that has amazing customer service. And
look, on this screen we've got this reel coming around, and you see these companies that are up there in these top corners. You see flags out here, and you see some of our people, Netto, Ford, Rigid, Maxxis, Raceline, MRT, all these companies. I could sit here and we could name a whole lot of them, but just naming them and talking about them doesn't do justice for what they really deserve and what represents their companies. You need to get in there, learn about the products, go to their websites, go to their social media, share their commercials, share the commercials that we share these live feeds, get the message out. Really give back to these guys, because these are the companies that chose to give back to us.
Right.
So there's a value. It's a two-way street, and if they're only giving to us and we're not finding a way to give back, then that's not going to be a relationship that's going to last forever. You got to be able to nurture that relationship. So I encourage everybody always, when you see a brand and you see that it's one of these brands that's representing, whether that be MAO or it be Ultra 4, whatever it is, share that thing. Buy that product. When you think about, hey, what do I need? Go shop with them first and see if they can fulfill that need. And 9 times out of 10, they're always going to take care of what you need.
Right, exactly. And that's what's so awesome about these companies, for sure.
and we appreciate them stepping up and helping, the series and racers. Again, that helps us be able to come to the races. It helps the series grow. It helps the parks grow. So we really appreciate those. And again, that's pretty awesome that they can step in and jump in and help us out.
Exactly. It got a little bit quiet here for a moment.
It did get a little bit quiet, but I'll tell you what's been happening in the background. Y'all can't see it, and I don't think the cameras have cut over there to it. But if you look up on top of that hill over there, Pam, we got JT and Tim heading up there. They are holding some flags in their hands.
Yes.
They're getting prepared to start throwing some white flags.
My cord is stuck on your foot.
Uh-oh, that is not good.
There we go. Yeah, having the white flag in their hand is definitely a good sign, especially if it's going to be Mr. Chip McLaughlin coming through here on that. We shall see.
So I think we got a few more people to come through. Liam Maurice, Kevin Taylor, Smith Racing, and Chad Hunt should be coming through. And somewhere in that mix, we might see Quentin Hilburn again come through here. But whenever Chip or Zandy, whichever one gets here first, they will be thrown with the white flag.
I know it's been awfully quiet to not hear one of those Rufus Racing motors right now for some reason, and no lights over in this direction that I can see from where I'm sitting back here on the trailer. So let's just
again, only about a 20-second difference between them when they came through. So not a ton of time difference coming through there, but obviously they're both pushing hard. I don't think Zandy. There's only two laps left, so I don't see Zandy picking up enough stuff. But
here comes somebody right here. This.
Ooh.
That is the 40 of
Liam Maurice.
Yes, thank you.
Liam Maurice, Hot Rock Express team over there out of St. Louis. Those guys do asphalt and a lot of construction there. They've been racing Ultra 4. They raced with us also at Pro Rock Racing, the Survival Series, and great group of guys. They've been having a lot of fun. They're always all smiles, and man, I just love being around those guys. It's infectious, just their passion to come out here and enjoy the outdoors and the off-road world.
I'm sorry, I had to laugh. Edie is wanting to wish happy birthday to JT.
Yeah.
That is Chip's wife.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So she's wishing happy birthday to JT, but I heard there was a birthday in the Rufus Racing crew over there somewhere.
Oh, yeah?
Somebody's turning 17 today.
Ooh.
Oh, who's that?
Yeah, so
Edie, you'll have to tell us who that is.
I think somebody turned 17. I think it's their daughter is over
Taylor.
here hanging out. Kevin Taylor.
Coming through there. Again, I think he's Quentin's not too far behind him, I believe, and then that'll be everybody through. And then about that time, Chip will be coming through.
Well, we got Smith
I
and
see
Hunt.
lights.
We got Smith and Hunt, so you got to remember Smith was on their tail. When they come back through here a minute ago, Kevin Taylor had run real up close really to Liam Maurice. So now we've got Aaron Smith coming. Or is that Rufus?
You can hear him? This is
white flag.
Nope, that is Smith.
Yeah.
That's Smith.
Yeah.
The next one's going to be
Yep.
Chip, I believe. Chip is coming through next. I saw the light bar.
Well, Chad Hunt is still out there, guys. He could be out there too. We also know that he was moving a little slow and it took him some time, so I don't know if he's going to make it all the way back around.
Here's there we go.
There he goes.
That's the white flag flying.
That's the white flag for Chip. Again, let's see what his lap time is. I know he's taking a little bit more time, being a little smart about it.
Our sweet youngest girl, Alex, turned 17. Yep, Chip was real excited about that. He said he was going to go win this race for her tonight. And
he's got one more lap to go. Let's not.
Yeah, he's carrying through. So Chip, finish it out.
And
this is a birthday gift.
And that was a 17:10 lap. So again, we're talking. He's still on race pace at this point.
He's not as fast as he was in the first, 5-6 laps, but he's definitely. He picked it up from, what was it, lap 7, I think, is when he slowed it down just a little bit.
And not very much. He slowed it down just enough to kind of probably make sure you can, double-check a lot of those trees. And, again, they did quite a bit of pre-running. So they're pretty confident in the trail. Just be smart. Don't hook anything stupid. So, again, and coming in first, having Zandy on the second, that's got to feel pretty awesome for the Rufus Racing team. I'm sure they're down in the pits getting hyped up now, being they just got that white flag that last lap. So.
Well, I'm excited to see how fast and hard Zandy's going to come through here. Zandy's been running about 30 seconds a lap faster than Chip, but, of course, I don't think there's enough race left.
No.
Yeah.
But I do think that Zandy's probably not going to lay completely down.
You wouldn't want to lay completely down, but you're definitely not going to make up that much of time in, 2 laps like you guys were saying earlier. But definitely you want to stick to that number 2 spot.
I'm going to be careful saying that because one time at our Race to Riches event, I said that Paul Wolf did not have time to make up 2 minutes and 9 seconds, and he did it.
Yeah.
He made up 2 minutes and 9 seconds on the final lap, and got himself a pretty big payday increase just in the last lap, and everybody was a little blown away.
Oh, I'm
and
sure.
I'm telling the crowd one thing, and something's happening out there that we were not prepared for. It was really special.
Huh. That's interesting.
Again,
yeah, you never know, right?
7:34. We got about 16 minutes left of racing till we get our finisher.
There's somebody else that's getting ready to come in, too.
Again, that was Chip McLaughlin that just came through. He's our race leader currently. And I think he's going to be our race leader. Again, like I said, it's got about a 4.5-minute lead on Zandy. So Zandy probably also, again, has a little bit of a lead on the third place Hooper. So I would say he's probably going to also be smart about it too. Being that he knows, hey, I can't catch him in 5 minutes, so I might as well be smart and just keep my 5-minute lead. Be smart. Go ahead and clock in a second place. You're getting some money. You're going home with a trophy. Not a bad day. Anytime you're on the podium, you're still going. That's a good day.
Yeah, that's always a good day, and just making it this far in the race, all these guys that are still left, they all deserve a big round of applause and a pat on the back to overcome adversity and starting in the daylight. It's cold, moving into the night, racing during the night. They've been out here all day watching all the other races, anxious, ready to go, getting out of their own mindsets. And, sometimes we can be our biggest enemies. They're out there pushing hard, trying to figure out the pace, keep the car together. And, man, they did it. Making it this far in the race, that's already a big feat.
Let's see who this is right here. Oh, they're coming through over here, not going on the jump. That is your
Chad Hunt.
Hunt.
I'm not sure what happened to him.
Yeah, so Chad Hunt is not going to.
I don't know if he's going to pull back to the pit or.
They're waiting for him right there.
They're gonna do something. So he is starting his 9th lap. So technically, even if he goes back out, he won't be completing his 10th.
Correct.
Which kind of stinks, but again, still coming out, getting 7th place, I think, for the day. So not a bad spot. Anytime you're in the top 10, you're feeling good. So coming out, getting a 7th place. And how far do you guys pay out?
With all the changes, I do not know for sure. I do think it pays top 5. Do not quote me on that.
Yeah, okay.
I am not certain. I do know what the first place pays, and that is $15,000.
Wow.
So Chip is really happy right now.
Yeah, I can tell you what first place pays. It's $15,000, and entry fee to what it pays out, that is a pretty heavy purse. And
so he's got 15,000 reasons not to crash right now. So.
Right?
100%. And there's
there
Zandy.
We go.
That's Zandy.
Again, that's a pretty good gap, but Zandy is still kind of in ascendant mode. He came launching through. See what kind of time difference.
But he did make up. It's 4 minutes and 10 seconds now?
Yep, so he's been shaving 20, 30 seconds a lap these past few laps. So I think he'll probably come in here finishing under 4 minutes within Chip's, which is great.
Which is awesome.
Yep, and Chip, he's been out front since lap 1.
Yeah.
So Zandy has fought his way through the field. He had to come back. At one point, he was running in 7th or 8th, so he has picked them off, and now he's able to get spread out. So who knows, if the race had changed and maybe he got out front early on, there may not have been hardly any gap between him and Chip.
And we're going to, after that white flag, we're going to have a little bit of break. We'll come back after this commercial.
No matter how hard we tried, we just couldn't get longer life out of our belts. That's why we were so excited when we found these new Gates Redline belts. They have a super simple 3-step process for breaking in your belt the right way. Clean the sheaves with a Scotch-Brite pad. Remove any old belt residue, glazing, oil, or debris on the clutch sheath area with alcohol or acetone, and make sure the breather tubes are free of any old belt material. Step 2, install your new Gates Redline belt. Step 3, perform 2 10 to 15 minute heat cycles, giving it easy throttle on flat ground. Then, you're going to repeat for the second heat cycle.
The best part, the process is so simple and easy, it really helped us with our competitiveness.
Yep. What's up, everybody? We are back. We have about 10 minutes-ish until we have a first finisher. Again, Chip McLaughlin right now leading the pack and has been Mr. Hard Charger straight out the gate. I think he came through and was leading on, I think, about our second lap and hasn't let up since. Has been kind of just smoking the course.
And we don't want to jinx him, but he's doing amazing right now.
He is pretty much crushing it. So him and Zandy are out there.
Running 1 and 2.
Yeah, Zandy's about 4.5 minutes behind him. Again, I think Zandy was kind of setting on fire. Not too bad the last couple of laps. He's kind of been pushing hard.
He's picked up 40 seconds.
Yeah, which is awesome to be like, hey, it's dark, it's really cold. You have a really comfortable 5-minute lead in the guy behind you. So let's go ahead and press it really hard. So that's super cool to see. Again, coming in first and second. Again, like I said, $15,000 to winner. So Chip's got 15,000 reasons to make it smooth, be safe. What's up, Jay? Broke a brake line and axle. Craig Hale, what's up, buddy? Talking about a bunch of drivers. So I will see. We have 2 guys right now, I believe, on our 9th lap. Hooper, I don't think, has started that 9th lap yet. I still see our white flag out there. And we got about 10 to 12 minutes left. Again, right now it's 7:42, so we have our first finisher around 7:50 probably.
Yeah, so I was pulling up the live feed here on seeing what people are saying. Have lots of people tuning in onto the social media, which is awesome interaction.
It's always great to see everybody jumping in, answering questions.
Have a lot of Rufus Racing people for sure. A lot of echoing back. We have a lot of Rufus Racing fans on there, family members, wives.
Again, you can hear some of that Rufus Racing. That's got to be a Rufus Racing car, just because they sound so much louder than some of the other cars, just absolutely out there screaming through the woods. Again, Quentin out there, still trucking along. Great to see him back in there. I'm not sure what happened. Let's see if we, with our Hunt car, Chad Hunt, I'm not sure what happened. I see him still sitting in the pit. I'd kind of like to talk to him, see what exactly broke or happened.
Right.
Because he kind of disappeared in the woods for a while and then eventually popped back up. So I don't think Quentin will be fast enough. Quentin was like 3 or 4 laps down, so I don't think he's fast enough to hop back up after Chad.
Oh, I see somebody flying down the hill over here. It's not Zandy, or not Zandy, it's not Chip.
It's funny seeing our flag guy get out 2 flags. He's like, some people get a white flag, some people get a cheer flag.
Well, once the leader comes in, though, as long as it's, well, it doesn't matter because they're all in the same lap. But once the leader comes in, everybody gets a checkered flag.
Okay. Yes. Okay. 10-4. Thanks.
Oh, no.
Are you serious? Yeah. Oh, man. Hop up here. Hop up here. Hey, Clyde, hand me that chair real quick. Thanks, sir. Oh, man. You were out there blazing hard today, setting.
Just don't go back too far.
Doing well, and then you kind of disappeared on us for a while. So
took out a serpentine belt.
Okay.
Oh no.
Whatever that last lap was that we took forever, and then we took fuel. I don't know, it was 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And we were like, yeah, we should do it. And we were pushing. I kept seeing Chip's taillights. Like I can catch him pushing. And this last lap, I'm like, she's stumbling. She's out. I don't have any more. I did not compensate right. So.
Man. And again, we've talked a lot about the side-by-side guys having a big pit fuel strategy. So and how that came into play. Some of the big cars guys. We've seen 2 guys in the EMC class run out. So. Again, that's, even though this isn't necessarily a King of Hammers length race, 90-some miles, that's a long time to go.
Right.
Fuel strategy definitely comes into play, especially when you're hammering down on a big block engine. So
right, well, yeah, supercharged big block on
right.
On E90. It's a learning curve. It's a new car for me, but it's fast and it handles really well.
You were second place there for quite a while.
Yeah, you were looking good out there.
Yeah,
definitely on it.
Again, hate to throw a belt. That kind of stinks. You hate to see that happen, but
it's a new car. We threw it at Hammers. Knew we were having issues. Come back, took a couple things, tried to fix it. Come out here and let's test it.
Yeah.
What better place?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's great. Course.
Yes, a
a lot of
non-points
fun.
race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times. Like I said, fun course coming out here. little bit chillier than usual.
It's freezing. My wife's freezing. She
bet.
rode with me. She co-drove with me.
Oh,
so
awesome.
Really?
Yeah,
That is awesome.
So she was
This is-
on point.
Tim Hooper just came through, got the white flag. Yeah, that's awesome. I used to co-drive for my husband.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. I'm sure you guys had a good time.
Yeah, she was wanting to get in the new car and see what it was like, and she was like, "Yeah, it's nothing compared to our old car."
Even though she's frozen, did she have fun?
Yes, I
That's
think
awesome.
so.
Oh, hi.
He said, I think so.
She's over here waving. She has
Trying to
a
get
smile
thumbs
on
up.
her face.
Yeah. So definitely had a good day. Again, like I said, once you get thawed out, you'll be even more happy, I'm sure. So.
Oh yeah, get it cleaned up and get home and fix a few more things and go back after it again down in Tennessee.
Yeah, I said Tennessee's not too far around the corner.
Yeah, that one's June.
Yeah.
June.
A little warmer then.
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh yeah. June in the Midwest, we do pretty well.
So are you going to do the East Coast Series or just do Tennessee? Or are you going to go up to Rush, Kentucky when we go up there in April for East
Rush.
Coast?
I guess that's our next one. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
we have Rush as our first East Coast points champion or race, and then we have Adventure AOP is in June. That's our second race.
Yeah, I'll be running the East Coast.
And then Crandon.
And then we're doing Crandon. I really want to go to Sturgis, but we'll see if finances allow me to at $5 a gallon for diesel.
I have to say it's a lot of fun, but
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah, $5 a gallon is kind of crazy for diesel. And I've seen some places, $5.35, $5.25. When you got a big hauler, you're putting it, getting 6 to 8 miles a gallon. It's a little bit more of a financial commitment.
Exactly.
Yeah. It takes $1,000 to fill the tanks up. You're like,
wow.
Yeah.
Get her done. Yeah, that definitely $1,000. You make you like, wow. Hey, we're gonna go race this thing. $1,000. Okay. And again, how many gallons it hold?
That's 240 gallons.
Okay,
$5.40 a gallon.
So most of the trips probably they're close to you. You could probably get there and back on without filling up.
Yeah, this was a there and back without filling.
That's
just one
nice.
tank.
So you live close. Where do you live?
Indiana, northern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah, up there with Stan and
Part of those
Brandon and
Team Indiana crew.
Team Indiana.
I didn't realize you were up there for some reason.
We were talking about Stan earlier about how all the stuff he does for Ultra 4. And
he's amazing with the sport and
with
the group.
Takes good care of even the bouncer stuff. He does a lot of bouncer stuff too, the 14-bolt axle stuff. So
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good time. Like I said, Team Jody Ford was trying to do some racing, so we'll see what happens. And
he was going to be here with me. We were loaded up, ready to leave 2 weeks ago when we were coming down.
Yeah.
He was coming with me, but it fell into a family trip when we relocated, and he just couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That happens.
Jody's a good dude. I like Jody a lot too.
Yep.
Him and Stan are usually like wherever we're at, they're usually together, hanging out, goofing off, and 2 peas in a pod too. So.
Mischief or
something like that.
Great group of people for sure.
Yeah, I say we should be about 5 minutes away from our leader coming in. I know we still have a few cars out there. We got 3 cars on their final lap. I think we have 3 or 4 more still to come in on that final lap. So we're about, I'm going to say 5 minutes out from our leader coming in, I think.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Chip has been out front.
From lap
pretty
2
much,
on,
yeah.
basically. Mm-hmm. Really from the first lap on.
Yeah, he was, because I was right there.
Yeah, you guys came in pretty close.
Yeah,
kept seeing his taillights, and I'm like, man, I know he's right there.
Yeah.
Third or 3 or 4 laps in a row, you guys are battling out pretty good.
Yeah.
So, and wasn't much time difference between you two when you come through.
So when you guys did the Grand Prix start or the Le Mans style start, where did you end up right off the start?
I think I was like 4th or 5th.
Okay.
I got out of there pretty quickly and through and a bunch of crowds and past 2 more cars further back, so it just put me right up there.
That's handy.
Levi was on this first corner after the end of the trails here. He was broke, so I was just like, man, it started clicking them off quickly.
That's Liam Morris.
Yes, it was.
Run through the number 40 car. I recognize the back of it. You can't see any after about the 4th or 5th lap. They're really dirty. You can't
Rear
really see
number
it.
plates are really good. So if you don't have one on your car, put it on there.
I have a shark fin. When I was helping doing tech inspection, I was telling all the side-by-side guys that get a shark fin.
Yeah.
Shark fins are good, but out here they've been mudded up.
Yeah.
So it's been hard.
This has got to be.
This is Chip. No.
Yeah.
That was not.
That's the.
That is
fuel.
No, he already went through. I can't remember who that is. I'm so
It's
sorry.
a silver one. It looks like a Randy's.
Is that Aaron? That's Aaron Smith.
Okay. Yeah, luckily,
But-
kind of knowing what chassis they look like, it's a little easier to recognize some of them when they're covered in mud and dirt, and it's in the dark. It's
It truthfully reminds me of a Badlands race right now because we're in the dark.
Yeah.
Running through the water and woods. And
I'm pretty sure I see Chip coming through right now.
He started waving the checkered flag.
Well,
so.
this is Kevin Taylor.
There we go.
But I'm pretty sure Chip is right here.
All right.
I think Chip's like going to be seconds away. Yeah, he's got it. So the checkered flag is coming out.
Go. Yeah, I'm going to let you guys get at it and get my wife warmed up.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. Go thaw out now.
He just went through.
Again, that was Chad Hunt up here with us.
Oh, look at.
There we go.
He just won. Look at that.
Heck yeah.
Chip
that is awesome.
Super excited.
I bet he is. Look out there doing donuts.
Watch out for the camera guy. Yeah. He saw him and he stopped.
Yeah, look at that right there. Woo! Chip is happy.
Wow. Super cool. So here in just a couple minutes, we're going to go head
almost
down.
Looks like he has a low tire on that back rear corner.
He did. He was coming in a little slower than normal.
Heck yeah.
So unofficially right now, Mr. Chip McLaughlin is in here in the number 1 spot. We'll be heading down to Joey Beck here shortly, and he's going to give him an interview. That is Chip McLaughlin and Brad Christensen.
Part of that Rufus Racing team. Coming in first place. Getting all 10 laps knocked down. Again, was leading after like lap 1. It literally led the entire race. Got out there, pushed it hard. Again, I think his plan was to push it super hard when the light was out and then kind of back off a little bit, play it smart. Plan worked out pretty well. Zandy coming in second place as of right now. We'll see what he can see if he can't push it past the finish line.
We have somebody else coming in right now.
Yep. It sounds like Zandy. Sounds like him. It is.
No, that's Quentin.
No, Quentin.
Quentin just came in. So here shortly we'll go down to Joey. We have a car. Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
So let's go down to
go.
Joey. He's down there with our number 1, Mr. Chip McLaughlin, unofficially. Go, Joey.
Class winner, Mr. Chip McLaughlin. Y'all let me get in here and talk to this man. Hey, tell us about today. Tell us what you told me before we started. Who'd you win this race for today?
Man, JT's first race. We're here. This is our first time ever getting the first place, and this was a absolute blast. I can't thank our team enough. Zandy I think he's coming in right behind me. We got a flat coming through the starting line on the last lap. I'm losing my voice, I'm sorry. But Eco Staff, Maxis, Vision, we had the Maxis liners in here. I didn't let up with that flat tire, it kept going. They got Nightstick, Baja Designs. I'm going to tell you, when the sun went down, things looked way different out there.
All right. Zandy launching through the finish line.
Oh, yeah, there he is. My mom, who was in ICU yesterday, got out there. Graduated. So, and this asshole next to me, I forgot to thank him at King of the Hammers. And my daughter, who's right over here, turned 17 yesterday.
So you did it for the birthday for her, folks. So let me tell you, we've been watching you all day. You were fast all day, and we did notice as the sun come down, your time started to slow down a little bit. One, you knew you had the lead, and 2, things were different out there. Tell us how much harder the course got in the dark.
It was ghost. You'd forget where you were going. You'd come up on that bar and think you were in a straightaway. And then you started seeing the mud we're throwing. And, it was wild. Eco Staff, I hope I said it. It wasn't for Eco Staff, we wouldn't be doing this. I've got a sponsor listed here somewhere, but it's covered in mud. That was a hell of a lot of fun. If y'all didn't make it, and y'all are sitting at home watching, y'all should be jealous. This is my blast.
Well, I'm sure they are jealous, and I'm happy for you to pull your official first place right here at the 918 Grand Prix at MidAmerica. We're going to give you this trophy right here. That's all yours, guys. And, man, we're so happy y'all give it up for Chip McLaughlin, Rufus Racing, and the birthday girl over here. Is her name Alex? Get over here and celebrate with your dad.
Woo, that was Chip. You can see him behind us over here
That's what it's
partying.
all about.
Super
Having
excited.
a good time. Chip is super, super happy. Again, getting to hoist up that first place trophy.
And then Zandy Willems came in. He's sitting here in second
yeah.
position, unofficial right now.
And then Zandy pulling right behind him in that 918 Grand Prix
And
race.
it's right here, right there.
Right there? Oh, yeah, I was trying to.
trying
It's always funny when me and Bree are always like, it's the hill, this one right over, and we're like trying to point different directions. So
I did that earlier with the easy ups. I was like, they're right here, but I pointed way too high. They're
Yeah.
actually like lower. But yeah,
it's even worse. You're trying to do like right
that
to left.
way.
You're like, here's it is, right? Wait, no, it's over. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I have a lot more respect for the weather lady now.
I'm
so.
like, I think it's been a long day in
Yeah.
the freezing cold, but we are not done
No.
yet. We still have cars
Yes.
out on the race course, but they are all getting the checkered flag because it is a Grand Prix
Yes.
finish once the number one finisher comes through. So as of right now, everybody is still getting that. But right now, let's go back to Joey. He is out there with Mr. Zandy Willems. Back to you, Joey.
Guys, I'm going to be stepping over here. I'm walking in on Zandy Williams, the second part of Rufus Racing here today, celebrating with Chip McLaughlin. These two guys are racing partners. This is the same team. Zandy, tell us about the race out there tonight. I started during the day, ended during the night. Tell us what happened out there.
It was awesome. It was fun. Had a lot of fun. It started off, made a few wrong turns right in the beginning, so we were playing catch up, and I was chasing that bitch all day long.
Well, tell me this. What does it mean for y'all to both be sharing this podium here at the 918 Grand Prix and starting off part of this season on this podium together?
Hey, I think we can call this our house because last year we went second and third. This year we're first and second. So
this is Rufus Racing's house.
Right now, this is Rufus's house.
Well, let me ask you, do you got any sponsors, anybody you want to thank?
Eco Staff, Maxis, Nightstick, Baja Design. I don't know, I got tape somewhere in here. Just, Vision Wheels, and, thank everyone, the crew that came, the family back home.
Well, they've been rooting for you. Them girls have been all over the internet talking to us, letting us know that this was going to be Chip's first win. He knew you was right on his heels all day. He didn't let up. I got something for you right there. A nice 918 Grand Prix second place. Y'all give it up for Zandy Williams.
All right, that's Zandy. He came in second place. Again, unofficial. We have to double-check all our results. That's second place. And he is the other half of Rufus Racing, racing in the 4,400 cars.
He is Mr. Rufus Racing.
Yeah, he is Mr. Rufus Racing. Other half of 4,400 car racing this weekend, so it's super great to get to see those guys. I'm sure they're super happy to come in first and second. That's super neat to see. Again, we have a handful of guys still out on the course trying to get across the finish line. We had a few guys come in through the white flag. Now they're trying to get that checkered. I've seen a couple of them through the high side over there racing. We have about 10, 12 minutes left for those guys to get on in. So, again, everybody coming through got the checkered flag. Or got the white flag at the same lap. So now everybody's getting the checkered flag. So
And you can see them back there. That is Chip and
having a good time,
Zandy.
giving each other a hard time.
This is when you start,
Oh, yeah.
that part on the race
I was
course,
so
oh my
close.
gosh.
I almost got you. Yeah, and again, like I said, Zandy was like fourth, I think, qualified. So being able to work up to second was awesome. Chip was in second place. Being able to work up to first is awesome. So to see those guys be able to battle up and end up first and second on the podium.
1 and 2 on the podium, unofficially.
Yeah, unofficially, super excited to see. So
dot our I's and cross our T's.
Oh, yeah. Look at our tracker guys are usually on it, so.
Yeah, definitely. It's very, very good, but, everything has to be unofficial until they actually, call it official. And
the good news is most of those guys ran consistent times almost all day. So if there was a big major issue, we would have probably been like, whoa, his time is way off.
Right.
But, within a few seconds, certain laps were within a few seconds to each other. So that's pretty cool that when you're running, 16-16 and 16-20, you're 4-second difference with a 16-minute lap. I mean, that's pretty stinking consistent. So
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat to see that. See that over a 16-minute time limit, you're within 6 seconds, 4 seconds of. That tells you how hard they're pushing each lap over and over again.
Exactly.
So that's pretty neat to see from just a racer standpoint. To go, hey, that's pretty cool.
So you have Rufus Racing. They're probably going to have themselves a good time
party
tonight for
I'm
sure. The girls at home, they'll be partying as well, and then they're probably going to end up, more than likely, the way this crew works, they'll probably go home, they'll have a celebration.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, look at the purse that was just won.
Yeah.
It's not official right now, but look at that.
15 grand, not a bad place, and that's just for first place.
And not including if it stands that Chip had the
fastest lap.
I mean,
so now he's at 17.5. Not a bad day.
So he dedicated it to his daughter, so I'm wondering,
that's neat.
Does she get any?
Yeah. Say, hey, can I pick some of that up, Dad? Hey, Dad.
Where are we going? Shopping.
Yes.
It's my birthday. No, it's been a good day, though. I mean, these drivers, they're having, fun back there. They have smiles on their faces, and it's fun to, chit-chat with them after it's over, because then you get to hear their favorite parts of the course and where they messed up or where they think they could have done better, or, I tagged that tree, and, oh, my gosh, I thought it was going to take me out, and, everything.
Or it didn't take me out, but I was able to get back on for the next guy came around. Yeah, it's super cool to hear the stories and start talking and listening. And again, like I said, I'm sure Zandy, the first thing he said to him was like, I almost had you this time, or I was so close, another couple laps that I got you.
Right.
And again, even finishing, Zandy was still flying through there at coming up to finish. So I think, another 10 laps, I think Zandy would have caught him.
Right.
So
he could have. I mean, it depends how many more laps they could have had. But, they're both running those Maxxis tires as well. So neither one of them had any issues with that. Well, actually, this very last lap, we can see that Chip came in with one. But I mean,
came a little low.
He did 91.8 miles with no issues, except they all stopped for fuel.
Yeah, which, again, pit strategy comes into play huge. Obviously, that pit strategy paid off for him today. So super excited to see that. So kind of neat to see, again, like I said, neat to see two guys from the same team on position 1 and 2. That's pretty cool.
I see Peanut. See Peanut?
He's like, what's up, buddy?
He's like, hi, guys.
Yeah,
I'm at home.
He's like, hey.
He's a part of Rufus Racing. He was in our EMC class earlier. He's Travis Forshey, a.k.a. Peanut.
Yep.
Like we were saying earlier, not everybody knows his real name.
Which is funny. I when they first called his name, I was like, who? And the Peanut. I was like, oh, okay. Cool. In the driver's meeting, it was pretty neat. So again, super great to see everybody come down, hang out, goof off. I'm sure all the drivers will be back at camp here in a little bit.
Oh, look there they are.
Oh yeah, 1 and 2.
So I got them both up here. Let me go lower.
Yeah,
there we
1
are.
and 2. That's pretty neat. Yeah.
I should be an airline attendant.
There we go.
No.
Yeah. What's up,
Mr. Rufus? Let's give Mr.
What's
Zandy
up,
up here too. Chip doesn't have a voice. We need a handheld right
here. Come on. You got to get up here.
Do we have handheld? We could put everybody up here?
So our audio was a little bit muffled. So how was that race?
That race was awesome.
Yeah, everybody so far has come up and said how exciting it was, how much fun it was. It was a good time. How awesome is it to come in first and second place?
Unofficially.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
1, 2. 1, 2.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
It was pretty cool. Again, I think we have to double check. Fastest lap, I believe, went to you on your very first lap coming out, sending it, just picking it up.
You proved me wrong because I said nobody will set the fastest lap on the first one, and here you
came out and just smoked it. Again, we talked to a couple guys, and the philosophy was come out, set a fast pace, get a couple quick hot laps, maybe build a little lead, and that way, as the night starts falling, you have a little bit of cushion. You at about 20. Okay, we are getting word he is the fastest lap. So
that's awesome.
So not only
good job, buddy.
Not only you go home with a $15,000 winner, $2,500 to the fastest lap. Not a bad day. Not a bad day.
Plus him.
Plus second place.
Yeah.
So and to see the Rufus Racing team on the podium first and second.
That's awesome.
That's got to be a pretty cool feeling.
Oh, it is. It is. I was excited just to get out in front of him from the start, and then we blew that first turn, and it was.
Oh, we saw it on the live feed.
We blew it. I blew that turn, and then I had to pass everyone to get back in the groove. But then once we were in our groove and we got by everyone. We took the left line and on the either or, and we were smoking people left and right.
And there was about a 4-minute time limit between you two. And we were talking. I said, I hope Chip's crew is telling him, hey, you have about a 4-minute lead. Just
slow down.
Be smart. Take it smart.
Exactly.
I'm coming after you.
He slowed down for a whole 4 seconds. And you picked up those 4 seconds. So
yes.
there was about 8 seconds you were gaining every lap. I said, well, if we had about 10 more laps, you might have been able to overcome that.
Well, the
4
thing
minutes,
is they called in and they're wanting to get on cruise control.
Yeah.
And they're like, how close is the closest car? And it's like, well, it's Zandy and he's 3 minutes behind you.
Yeah.
So
and
I was coming.
Yeah, and
I was
there's
coming.
about a 4-minute difference between you two, and then about a 4 minutes difference between second and third. So I'm like, at this point, you guys can kind of just coast in if you wanted to. But then I was like, we're talking about Zandy and Chip. They're probably going to be out there trying to battle each other, banging doors. So the whole flat. We see you come in with a flat tire.
I didn't know I had a flat until after I left.
You were just coming in, pushing hard, trying to get it done.
And then I felt it, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Brad goes, yeah, Zandy's behind us. I go, call him and find out who's behind us, see if we can slow down.
Yeah.
And I can't hear when I talk.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to know.
Yeah.
That's
he goes,
funny.
there's about 3 minutes. And he paused for a second. He goes, and it's Zandy.
Zandy.
Like, oh.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, now I really got to push it. You know?
right,
exactly.
It's like two brothers coming in.
That's our other guy.
There's Tim Hooper.
Tim Hooper.
Awesome.
Again,
he came in earlier and had a flat tire and had to have a change, and then they fueled him up at that point. He hasn't stopped since. He's been going the whole time.
I came in for a flat and fueled.
And we've seen, almost the whole field today. Like all 8 guys I think we have still out from the second lap on have all been setting pretty similar times and pushed pace hard. I mean, 4th, 5th, and 6th were all battling within less than a minute of each other.
Right.
It was super, super neat to see. Again, we kind of saw Chick walk away with it. You built a pretty good lead there. So, again, way to push hard, get out there hard charging, getting it done. So, again, like I said, it was also kind of and you would come through your last 2 or 3 laps. We had seen you kind of back off just the jump. You were like 3/4 of the jump for the first 5 or 6 laps.
And you
the
backed
last
off.
couple you backed off. Zandy, you could tell, I think got faster the last 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah.
He's like,
You launched farther.
I was
by
pushing.
golly, I'm going to catch Chip. You could see he was pushing for everything he had.
Slow down because we pushed it a little bit one time because you don't need to send it over that. We need to finish this.
Yeah.
Right,
Keep the car together. And again, like I said, we were hoping that the crew was telling you, listen, you got a 4-minute lead. Take your time. Don't clip a tree. You're fine. You'll be good.
Well, and the thing about it, too, is you had consistent lap times. I mean, all of you did for the most part, but you were so consistent. We're like, he's running such a smooth race, and smooth is fast. So it's like.
We found our groove. Brad was calling out the lines.
Right.
And we had every mark every time. I don't have no idea where I got the flat. It went that big boom.
Yeah.
It gradually went down. But that Max's tire still looks brand new
Right.
on there except it's flat.
Yeah.
And, big thanks to all of our teams. Vision Wheels, Max's. Our whole team's right here. And,
Yeah, I can clearly, a whole pack of you guys all came running over. As soon as you crossed the finish line, we're cheering. I said, no, when you pulled in, we could hear everybody laughing and joking, talking around. And I said, the first thing Zandy's probably going to say to him, I almost had you. If I'd have been the little guy, I could just hear him,
I'm just waiting for him to red card me for something.
Yeah.
This guy and Mama Hands, we wouldn't be here. This is his nice first. We were here back in July and we got second and third.
Right, exactly.
I say visions. I say it's so close, so it's super neat to see you guys come in first and second. Anytime you have a chance to podium, it's great. But when you and your buddy are on the podium, it's even better. And being in that 1 and 2 spot, it's got to be kind of a bucket list thing,
Oh, yeah.
And everybody has been at home chiming in and watching, all your wives and everybody's wives that are not here. And so that was super cool that they were chiming in and we were talking back and forth with them.
That's cool.
This time, you ever looked at our bids? We had, 7 cars?
Yeah.
We were all bidding for.
That's awesome. Super, super cool to see. Again, it's super neat to see that. Again, that camaraderie there. But again, seeing that number 1, number 2 spot on the podium, that's pretty special. And again, that's kind of a bucket list thing. So.
Yeah.
What were some of the things you guys had to overcome today during the course?
Well, I had some issues with my visor. I couldn't get the damn thing to go back up. I'm going to have to do a little tweaking on it.
Is that why you missed the turn?
Yeah, well, no, that wasn't it. And then
you guys are like the Gomez brothers.
I was running I think I got frostbite on one of my hands because I didn't have my glove on half the time. But anyway, other than that, I mean, missing the first turn, it put me at a real disadvantage.
Yeah.
But I just had to. I worked my way through the pack, and then once I got through it, then I didn't have to worry about anyone. All I needed to do is track him down, and I didn't do it.
And you were slow. Each time you were clipping off a few little seconds here, little seconds there, and I was like, tell Chip to take it easy. He has a good enough lead, and I was like, and tell Zandy to slow down because you're 5 minutes ahead of third place. I'm like, but I know telling a guy, hey, your best friend or your buddy or your brother's right in front of you, but take it easy. You might as well put a bolt tie on the back of your car.
Oh, we started seeing each other.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
chasing the lights.
Yeah.
Oh, because you guys were that far apart, kind of, so you're crossing.
There's a part of the course where it's only 100 feet, and we're on one side of the fence.
Oh,
Each other,
yeah.
And we passed each other.
Oh.
Green lights. I was like,
so and you're like, I got this.
Yeah.
Here, hold my beer. I got this.
Yeah. Where is the beer?
Yeah. So again, super awesome to see you guys.
The start line was. I made a mistake at the start. When that first motor went off, I started the car. I was like, oh, one. And then started again, and then everybody got in front of me. In that first corner, when everybody went wide open through that water, it was like a rainstorm when we went.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So,
So
now you're cold and wet. All right, they're getting ready to kick down to our interview down
All
here.
right.
Congratulations,
we appreciate you guys.
boys.
Thanks for coming up.
you.
Thanks a
We'll see
lot.
you guys later on.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, I wanted to do a picture. Hey, Chip.
All right, guys, I'm back down here in the pits. We just had our third place guy come rolling in here.
Wait, Zandy.
Fuel Works, Mr. Tim Hooper has come in here in third place. He's getting everything pulled off. Congratulations on finishing the race here at the 918 Grand Prix. Man, I want to know all about what you thought about this race. I'm going to let you get unhooked right there. Having a little bit of technical difficulties, but these guys, they've been in the mud, the water. It's been wild. Started during the day, now we're in it here at night. The adversity that these teams working together. Equipment ain't working right. We can't even get the helmet to disconnect right now. That just shows you everything starts going wrong. It's late, and it's starting to get cold, but, man, these guys have had a ball. Every person that's come in here is just telling us how much fun this race has been, and everybody's staying safe out here and just having a great race. All right, we'll give these guys a few seconds, see if they can figure it out. We may have to do a little bit of conversation with a helmet on his side. All right, we got him. Mr. Hooper, how's it going?
The helmet removal was harder than the race. Oh, it was good. We lost brakes about 2 laps ago, so we kind of had to play around. But, man, what a track. This thing is awesome. We had so much fun.
So tell me just a little bit. I talked to some of the other guys. So when it went from daylight to dark, what did the track seem like to you?
Jimmy, which way do I go? I can't see anything. Your peripheral vision on those nice little 180s that you were floating into and drifted into, no more of that. So, it was tough. It really was.
Did you have any issues with the car today?
Absolutely none, besides the brakes going out 2 laps ago.
Well, the brakes was just from water, I'm sure, just attrition.
I don't know. All I know is you keep putting them to the floor and nothing happens. It kind of gets a little nerve-wracking sometimes.
Well, man, I'm excited for y'all to come through here at the 918 Grand Prix. We love Fuel Works. We love you guys, and I'm happy to hand you this trophy right here for a third-place finish here at the 918. Y'all give it up for third place, Mr. Tim Hooper.
Thank you, guys.
Do you got anybody you need to thank?
Obviously Fuel Works with the cans, my co-dog Jimmy, all the guys back home that help us work on this car. We're a small-town team, so, it's pretty much us wrenching on it. So, and a big shout-out to the Rufus Racing guys. They are always pitting for us, and they do a fabulous job. We love them to death.
1 and 2.
All right, guys, y'all heard it here first. That's your 1, 2, and 3 out here at the 918 Grand Prix. We've had an awesome day out here. We've got stories that's going to last us a lifetime.
And
we'll see you at the next race.
All right, we're back, and that is the end of the 918 race. I think they have all the cars off of the course, so that is going to wrap us up for the evening. Again, I'm Matt Holt.
And I'm Pam Hall, and thank you so much for everybody that did 8 Grand Prix presented by MidAmerica Outdoor. It's been a great day, a very cold day.
It has been. We got a ton of awesome action coming this year. You guys don't want to miss it out. Make sure you tune in. Again, Rock Racing TV will bring you all kinds of action. Again, we'll be right back here next week with the new short course series that they're actually going to do awesome stuff with. So,
and make sure you check out the website for the schedule for the year, for sure.
And also check out the app. I know they're going to do some cool stuff with it this season. So we'll see you guys soon. Thanks.
All right, thanks.